The Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. We're here to compete, to inspire, to grow, and to make history. We are rooted in tradition. For over a century, we have contended as the premier conference within Division III.
I shot the ball.
We are united throughout Wisconsin. All 8 of our full-time member institutions are based in our great state. But although Wisconsin is our home, our impact reverberates across the entire nation, crowning 180 national team championships and counting. Our mission is to shape student athletes who excel academically and athletically, equipped to become leaders in life. We are here to build on our enduring legacy and move boldly forward into the future. We are the WIAC, Excellence in Action.
Good afternoon from Carson Park in Eau Claire. BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network present college football. And the matchup today, UW River Falls Falcons ranked number 10 in Division III. UWRF 5-1 overall, 2-1 in the WIAC, taking on the UW-Eau Claire Blue Golds, who are 3-3 overall, 0-3 in WIAC play. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Bradovich, joined up here in the broadcast booth by Andrew Thaler. And Andrew, great start for the Blue Golds. That 3-0 mark in the non-conference portion, their best start since 07. They have lost 3 in a row in the conference, and yet you can find a lot of positives, especially in those last 2 road games at UW-La Crosse and at UW-Oshkosh.
For sure. I mean, you always got to find the positive in your losses, but I mean, you can really look at it as long as they can just get out to a good start, they're gonna play great. I mean, in Stout and against La Crosse, both games they kind of shot themselves in the foot early, but as the game went on, they just got better. I mean, against La Crosse, after the first quarter, they outscored them 21-20, and then against Oshkosh, that's a ranked team. That is one of the best teams in the WIAC. Well, they only lost by a touchdown. They were tied 21-21 late in that game, and Oshkosh was able to pull through. That was the closest they've been to beating a ranked opponent in the Rob Erickson era.
And you got to figure, too, UW-Oshkosh is the team that handed River Falls its lone loss, so that's got to give UWEC some confidence. And if you're looking for motivation, well, last year at Raymer Field, UWRF hung 71 points on the Blue Golds, and I'm sure everybody who's back on the Blue Golds team remembers that.
For sure. I mean, that is a matchup that they have circled. They're going, we cannot lose like that again. This is an opponent that they play every year, and to lose 71-14 is definitely disheartening. But this is a River Falls team that is really good. You don't want that to happen again. You just got to come out strong, got to come out aggressive, and you can't make mistakes. You just got to play within yourself.
The Falcons have the number 1 offense in all of Division III. They average about 600 yards a game. So they're going to put a ton of stress on the Blue Golds defense. This is where UWEC's depth really has to step up, as well as some of those young players.
Oh, for sure. I mean, talking about those young players, 12 underclassmen start on this football team, and that is great when you're looking forward to the future of these Blue Golds. To have 12 players being able to start that can just continue to go, that's in the next 2 years, it is looking bright for these Blue Golds. And to just continue and to have that depth that's young and that can be experienced, I mean, it's going to be hard for the Falcons to really attack this team when they just continue to have the depth.
All in all, there are 29 freshmen or sophomores in the offensive and defensive 2-deeps. That's 29 out of 44. So these guys are going to get some valuable experience during these WIAC matchups. The third member of our broadcast team is down on the sidelines, and we head down there now to say hello to Mr. John McLean. Hello, John.
Andrew and Bob, thank you. It is a brisk fall afternoon. Fall has certainly arrived here in the Chippewa Valley. Low 50s, fairly dry field, and overcast skies to match. Now, there might be a bit of a difference when you look at the coaching staff but a little physically. If you look at the tops, they're wearing their special white and snow camo with Old Glory emblazoned behind their typical mountains and the 3 infamous words across the back: United We Stand. And the reason for this, it's Military Appreciation Day here at Carson Park. And if you look closely at the special ball caps each coach is wearing, they represent one of the 4 major military branches, whether that is Army, Navy, the Marine Corps, or the Air Force, for personal reasons or just to represent those serving in the Chippewa Valley and across the world, protecting this great nation. Rob Erickson touched on it in his press conference on Thursday. He wants to bring a minor league feel to these games and really engage the community just beyond the football field. It's a nice nod to those serving our country and a great bit of respect and community outreach as he looks to strengthen those ties across this town and across the rest of the region. Bob, Andrew, back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, John. They actually had camo pants, but obviously, as you can see, I think the assistant coach has said, no, let's just go standard gray, and we'll keep the camo on the tops. We'll talk more about some of the key individuals on both teams. We'll do that after a short break. You're watching WIAC football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. Welcome back to our pregame show. We are counting down to kickoff, UW-Eau Claire versus UW-River Falls. Bob Bradovich, Andrew Thaler with you from the broadcast booth. Andrew, let's take a look at the starters, and we will highlight some key players. We'll start with UW-Eau Claire on offense. Leading them is the sophomore QB, Aiden Helder. His first year as a starter, but he has shown that he has what it takes to be a leader, not just now, but in the future years.
For sure. I mean, Aiden Helder, he's just an efficient passer. He really knows what he's doing out there as a sophomore. And, you want that as a young quarterback to know what you're doing. It's going to be a lot like what River Falls has, where as he continues, he's just really going to learn this offense. He has the weapons around him with Kuzak, with Truel, with Rothmeyer. Those guys are really going to be able to develop him and really continue the Blue Gold legacy.
Paxton Rothmeyer, the freshman out of Medford, moving into the starting lineup this week. The O-line anchored by those senior tackles, Gunnar Hurlbert and Ben Helene. On defense, couple changes for the Blue Golds. 3 new linebackers in the starting lineup. Walker Korish, who had a pick 6 last week at Oshkosh, Matthew Marquette, and Jack Sheldrop. Now, here's the thing with the Blue Golds. They're going to rotate guys all the time, so last week's starters are definitely going to play. It's the same story up on the front end. But again, you're going to look at some guys like Brady Poles. He was the newcomer of the year in the WIAC last year, anchoring things up front. They've had to do some changing in the defensive backfield as well because of some injuries.
Yes, they have many injuries in that defensive backfield, and that's just what happens with football. You're going to get these injuries. But yeah, you mentioned Brady Poles. That guy's playing great in the area. 18 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. You mentioned that these linebackers are going to be switching, and that just shows great depth. You talked about, of course, had that pick 6 last week. You talk about just the linebackers that usually start for these guys. Fill the stat sheets. This shows the real depth that these Blue Golds have and how great they can be this year.
KJ Obikwelo moves into a starting role at quarterback with both Larry Bowe and Jalen Robertson, I should say. Everybody on that Blue Gold defense is going to get tested by this offense from UWRF, led by all-everything quarterback Caleb Blaha, preseason All-American. He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's the guy that really makes this offense click. We mentioned it, 600 yards per game. He makes it go. They play a super fast tempo.
Yes, he throws 1,979 passing yards on the year, 13 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. This is an All-American type talent. He has the weapons with him. This guy has been in D3 in the WIAC for 5 years now, and he just knows what he's doing. He really just can read the coverages. You can't really stop this guy. The only way to stop him is you got to stop his weapons.
And UW-RF playing that high tempo will rotate a lot of guys in and out on offense, but Trevor Asher is a guy to keep an eye on at running back, and there's some quality receivers as well. Defensively for the Falcons, and it's interesting, UW-RF plays such an up-tempo, modern-type offense. Defensively, they're pretty basic, and their goal is to keep you contained, not give up big plays, and they've been very effective at that.
Yeah, definitely. And one guy you really want to highlight on this defense is Noah Nussbaum. I mean, he's a freshman. I mean, that just shows the future of this River Falls program. 26 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, 1 interception. Another guy in this team, Gage Tim, 42 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. He's a senior. So you're seeing this production from the oldest guys to the youngest guys. This team really knows how to play well together.
If we look at keys to the game from the Blue Goals' perspective, we had a good chat with Rob Erickson on Thursday morning. Winning the turnover battle, always a key. The ones I really enjoyed him talking about and discussing with him is keeping your emotions in check. He said, football's a game of emotion, but you don't want to be emotional. You don't want to be so hung up, good or bad, about a play because there's another play coming, and that's going to be really important for Eau Claire. And the other thing he talked about is making your opportunities matter and being intentional. In other words, he thinks we're going to have opportunities. If you look at River Falls last week at Stevens Point, they put the ball on the ground twice. They fumbled on a long drive, and they had a guy strip right at the goal line. And Stevens Point recovered that. And then the next River Falls drive ended with a turnover deep in Pointers territory. He thinks that they're going to get opportunities, but you have to take advantage of them.
Yes, you always have to take advantage of them, and that's how you win the turnover battle. How you see teams win these games is when they win the turnover battle. And then how you win that turnover battle is, yes, you get more turnovers, but you also have to make those turnovers matter. And if you can make it matter, it will be very important. Just make those opportunities matter. You can really stress it today.
This is going to be one of these games, Andrew, where tempo is going to be such a key. And what that means for the Blue Gold offense, sometimes your best defense is keeping the other team's offense off the field. So for the Blue Golds, they want to move the chains. They can't afford 3 and outs. They want to just string some drives together, move the football, take your time. They're going to use every second on that play clock because they want to slow this game down, and they want to get UW-RF frustrated. On the other hand, UW-RF wants that go tempo. They want to get the ball back to their offense. They have such confidence that they can move the ball and score on anybody. So it's paramount for an opponent to try to keep the ball away from that offense.
Oh, for sure. When you have this dynamic in offense in UW River Falls, where you have one of the best passing offensive leagues, you have the most yardage in the league, you just want to keep a go. And as you said, the Blue Coats, they just got to keep that offense, they got to keep their offense on the field and just got to keep slowing it down and make it their tempo. Make River Falls play to them. Don't play to River Falls.
UW River Falls wearing the road white uniforms, the red numerals and red lettering. The Falcon on the helmet, Blue Golds in their home blues today with the blue helmets, gold numerals, gold lettering, gold trim. They got the white pants with the blue stripe. We are awaiting the Blue Golds right now. They'll be coming out of that inflatable helmet, part of the salute to military services that are going on today here at Carson Park. It's a really nice day. There was some rain overnight, but the field has dried off nicely. We've got no precipitation in the forecast. It's cool, like John McClain mentioned to us from the sideline earlier, but it's a good day for football as we move into the latter stages of October. We've got room for you at Carson Park. Come on down if you can. Otherwise, sit back, enjoy the action on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network. Blue Golds taking the field. Another great crowd at Carson Park. And again, for as far as atmosphere, Division III football, this is as good as it gets.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we were talking in the pregame, but I mean, this is a field you just got to love. And the fans are just right there and can just bring that sound to these Blue Golds and cheer them on.
Blue Golds hoping to use that home field advantage. They are 2-1 at Carson Park this year. They had the non-conference wins over Carroll and Martin Luther, and the loss several weeks ago to UW Stout. Blue Golds and Falcons getting ready to clash here at Carson Park, one of a number of big games in the WIAC. I think we say that every single week, but you've got multiple ranked teams. You've got clubs that are going to be in that mix for the upcoming NCAA playoffs. We are getting ready for our national anthem. And the Blue Gold's marching band will have that for us right here from Carson Park.
Is Delaney Klamrowski, Andrew Beeson, and Pam Moan. Our national anthem is being performed by the Blue Gold Marching Band under the direction of Kara Metzger. Please remain standing until the color guard has left the field. Thank you. All right, thank you to our color guard. And
Great rendition of our national anthem from the BMB. Great to have the color guard here. You know, UWC's got a great program for veterans academically. So for people coming out of their military service to get back into civilian life and get an education, it's it's one of the programs they're very proud of here at UWC.
Yeah, and I mean, Blue Goals just have so many programs like that. I mean, it's just a great college, a great atmosphere, and just a great place to be a student, as I would know.
You know, so many of these WIAC schools, I mean, it's got the good combination of small enough where you still feel like you fit in and you can make really good, you know, you don't feel like you're just, fish out of water sometimes, but big enough to have a lot of programs. And I think all these schools in the WIAC and definitely UWEC, you know, undergraduate enrollment around 10,000 is certainly fits the bill there. Captains heading out towards midfield for the coin toss. Be interesting to see how these teams decide to play this. You would think if River Falls wins, they might want to get their offense out there, but we shall see. So we'll head down to the field and listen in with our officials.
Heads, field.
Heads. Your call? Tails is the call. It is heads. You want to toss? Defer? You want the ball. Oh, I thought so. You'll be kicking which direction? All right. On this line here? White here.
Hey, tell Peter I say hi.
Blue on the toss and is deferred. Receiving on this end here. Good half, guys.
So UW-EC wins the toss, chooses to defer, so they're going to put their defense on the field against this high-powered UW-River Falls offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just let's test the defense early. Let's see how they can do it. And I mean, the best thing about that is you end up getting the ball at halftime. It's just really how can we now make this first half so great to where then the second half we have that chance to really attack this River Falls team.
Yeah, and a lot of times, too, you defer at the opening kickoff so you can get the final possession of the first half, and then you receive that kick. You're looking to double up. So we'll see how it all plays out. Again, last year, UW-River Falls jumped out early, never looked back. 71-14 was the final score. And as we talked about in the open, everybody who was on this Blue Golds team that was a part of that last year at Raymer Field remembers, and they would like to make things a little different this time around.
I mean, the biggest thing is this is a different Blue Gold team. They're playing better. They're just playing stronger. They're playing more within themselves. Rob Erickson's really got a great team set up here.
Connor
Rayday will handle kickoff duties for the Blue Golds. Jalen Reed is back deep for River Falls. He is standing inside his own 5-yard line. Cloudy day here at Carson Park. A little bit of sun peeking through. The lights are on, and we are ready for football.
Let's play football.
Connor Rayday on the approach. Swings the leg, and we are underway from Carson Park. Jalen Reed will take it at his own 6. Jalen Reed gets to the numbers, and he's dropped as he gets across the 20-yard line. Falcons will start on offense. Up front for River Falls, left to right, DJ Fox, Paxton Kopp, Peyton Kopp, I should say, Kevin Spahn, Jai Kolvik, Hunter McKinney. Caleb Blaha is the quarterback. Drew Kemple is the tight end. Receivers, Jake Hilton, Austin Rush, Stephen Reifenberger. Trevor Asher is the running back. Trips to the near side for the Falcons, and they start on their own 23-yard line. Asher motions out of the backfield. Blaha sets, throws over the middle. He's got a man out to the 45-yard line. Trevor Asher, the running back, on the reception.
I mean, we talked about that high-tempo offense, and then we saw it right away there, just going at it and already snapping the ball.
Blaha on the quick rollout, dumps it off to his tight end, who loses the football but gathers it up. It was Drew Kemple had it, and then he just kind of lost it, but fortunately for the Falcons, he got on it. But I think this goes back to what Rob Erickson has said, that you're going to have opportunities. When a team plays this kind of tempo, turnovers are going to happen. Blaha throws underneath. He's got a man, slips a couple of tackles. That's Austin Rush, their leading wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Goats have to be ready for this high-tempo offense here. And, I mean, early on, the River Falls is just taking advantage of just fast-paced action right here.
Snap to Blaha, looking right, throws. He's got his receiver, complete. Ben Wesolowski on the reception.
Ben Wesolowski brings up a second down at the 38.
This drive has moved to the Blue Golds 38. Now Blaha will reset the offense. They move Asher back to the running back position.
Gives the Blue Goats a little bit of a breath.
Trevor Asher on the carry, bounces it outside. Trevor Asher down the sideline, and he is out of bounds at the 9. Another first down for the Falcons.
really just showing the speed there. It was a good by Blaha to reset the offense there, and just Asher just able to find his little hole there to get through, and then just found his speed and was just pushed out at the 9.
Found that open space to that nice cut to the outside. 1st and goal from the 9. Blaha, design run. Caleb Blaha into the end zone. 9-yard touchdown run just like that. River Falls on the board. They lead at 6-0.
And I mean, we talked about it. I mean, how much of an athlete Blaha is, and we saw it right then and there. I mean, he can pass the ball like the best of them, but he can also rush the ball like the best of them. 1,900 passing yards, 600 rushing yards in the season. I mean, we saw it right there.
Nice job by that pulling guard on the left side. Blake Ramlett delivered a key block, and that sprung Blaha into the end zone. Justin Schieberl, PAT is up, and it is good with 12:52 remaining in the first quarter. It is Falcons 7, Blue Gold 0. You're watching WIAC football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network.
This is Price Slice from Festival Foods. It's how you can save big every time you visit. You'll find thousands of your favorite items with sliced prices, and we're constantly slicing more. Get what's on your list for less with Price Slice.
River Falls Falcons take the opening kick and march it downfield. They cap it off with a 9-yard touchdown run by Caleb Blaha. Now the Blue Golds will get a chance to answer. They will send Yacht Chul and Paxton Rothmeyer back to return this kick from Justin Schieberl.
Yeah, this is now where the Blue Golds want to slow it down. They just had a lot of quick tempoed offense right there. Now you want to slow it down. Let's take a long drive, and let's just get the ball down the field very slowly and score a touchdown. You need to respond here.
And you got to move the chains. You got to keep drives going. You got to take some time off the clock. In just a matter of 2 minutes and 8 seconds, Blue Golds find themselves down a touchdown. The sun peeking out here at Carson Park now. Great atmosphere for WIAC football. It's a short kick. Chul steps up at the 10. Yacht Chul trying to cut back to the near sideline, but very good coverage by the Falcons. Let's take a look at that UW-EC offense up front. Gunnar Hurlbert, Brian Sussnar, Peyton Jacks, Andrew Preisel, Ben Helene. Yacht Chul, Matt Kuchai are the receivers, along with Nick Keene. Aiden Shaw is the tight end. Aiden Helder, sophomore quarterback out of Stewartville, Minnesota. Paxton Rothmeyer, freshman running back out of Medford, Wisconsin. Blue Golds will come out in a tight formation. They'll start from their own 19. Now they'll split some guys out. Keene is the wide guy near side. Chul in the slot right. Helder looking that side. He's got a completion to Nick Keene.
Helder's got to be very fast with the ball here today. I mean, that D-line by the Falcons is big. It's strong. It's going to break through almost every single time, and you just got to be ready to pass the ball. You did a great job there.
Yeah, you look at some of these defenders across the front. Connor McKenzie, 6'4", 245. Carter Quamp, 6'4", 290. Cody Curtis, 6'2", 305. Jack Olson, 6'3", 257. Helder getting chased, and he's going to chuck that one out of bounds.
Incomplete pass intended for number 25, Paxton Rothmeyer. Incomplete.
Paxton Rothmeyer was in the vicinity, but it was one of those where live to play another down. And a good decision that time by Aiden Helder.
Yeah, Helder did a really good job of getting out of the pocket there and just seeing there's no one open and just throwing the ball away.
3rd and 3 Blue Golds from their own 26. They'll put trips to the far side. Now they'll flip the tight end, Aiden Shaw, that side as well. Movement up front, and
Penalty flag in the field.
Ben Helene jumped early. Might have been some confusion on the snap count, and that's going to move the Blue Golds back. So you go from a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 8, and that definitely changes the play calling selections.
Yeah, and I mean, it just looked like a little bit of the motioning by River Falls, a little bit of a snap count, and Helene was just a little bit thrown off, and you just got to regroup here. And 3rd and 8, it's still doable.
Split out to the far side, Mason Sullivan. Helder looking his way, and it goes incomplete, but a penalty marker thrown.
Yeah, I saw it there. It really looked like he was kind of holding the blue gold receiver there, and it just kind of, he couldn't get to the ball, and he was talking to the refs. Refs saw it, immediately threw the flag.
Mason Sullivan out of St. Croix Central High School. We talked about the linebacker Noah Nussbaum, also from Hammond, Wisconsin, and St. Croix Central High School. So, as it always seems to happen in these WIAC games, you see former high school teammates now on opposite teams.
Yeah, you always really love to see that. You love playing your teammates. You love just having that chance to go out there and a guy that you used to talk to and probably play with every single day, and now is your enemy in a way.
At least for a couple hours.
Yeah.
There might be a little texting going on before game week, and then of course afterwards everybody's friends again.
It's always just fun. It's always just a fun little trash talk you kind of do.
That penalty gives the Blue Golds a first down at the 35. Rothmeyer on the carry, finds a little bit of a crease, and gets it out to the 37-yard line. They actually give him forward progress to the 38. Kid, you don't need chunk plays all the time, but a run like that by Rothmeyer and good blocking on that left side to get you 3 yards, you'll take that all the time against this quality defense from UWRF.
Yeah, I mean, if you get 3 to 4 yards every single play, I mean, you're just going to get to the chains every time. Just get 3 to 4 yards. And then you saw it there. It was a great job by Rothmeyer.
And now another procedure penalty. So 2 illegal procedure penalties on the opening drive for the Blue Golds.
Yeah, and I think right there, this is where Erickson, after this drive, he's just got to go, okay, guys, let's take a breath. We're making these little mistakes. Let's regroup, and let's put our focus back on winning this game.
That was Levi Pooley, the sophomore wide receiver who jumped early. And Pooley was split out to the far side, and so everybody on that River Falls sideline saw that one. So it's Pooley and Keene to the far side. Sullivan, Chul to the near side. Helder, intended for Chul, put a little too much zip on that one. On the coverage there was Andre Hall.
Yeah, just put it where Chul couldn't get to it, and Helder's just a little thing you got to switch up and got to put it right in his hands, but nothing you really got to worry about.
Yeah, you would have really had to drop that in the bucket because Hall was just starting to undercut that route, and Helder had to deliver that with some zip. Led Chul a little bit too much, and now it brings up an important 3rd and 12 now for the Blue Golds.
It's something Helder will learn as he gets older.
Helder with time. Down the sideline, incomplete. Matt Kuchai got his hands on it, couldn't corral it. And the Blue Golds will send the punt team up. That one was there.
Yeah, one thing you will hear a coach or really just any football analyst say is if it's in your hand, you can always catch it. And just a little thing there, I mean, Blue Golds had a good drive. They kind of kept the defense out there, but again, you want points. You want to get those chains moving.
Brandon Fisher, the punter, standing at his own 18-yard line. Back to return, Jalen Reed for the Falcons. Pressure coming, and they got a piece of it. But the Blue Golds come out of that with actually a decent bounce, and it's going to roll to a stop right near the 30-yard line. We get some pushing and shoving on that far side.
Yeah, that realistically wasn't that bad of a punt.
Well, again, if you're looking at it from the Blue Gold perspective, you get a punt blocked and you still get enough on it, and then you get the favorable roll.
Yeah, went about 30, 32 yards, and yeah, favorable roll, and you kind of just breathe a little sigh of relief there.
Jalen Reed now checks in at running back. It was Reed back deep for the return. He got tangled up with one of the Blue Golds on the coverage team. Some words were exchanged. Trips to the near side now for the Falcons. Blaha looking left, throws underneath. It's caught by Jake Hilton, but the coverage was there by Ryan Spickerman.
That was actually great coverage there. They did a really good job of just putting guys everywhere. And yes, it was a caught ball. Yes, they got 2 or 3 yards, but they stopped it immediately.
Blake Ramlett lost his lid, so he has to come out. Peyton Kopp checks in at left guard for the Falcons. Blaha, designed run. Gets to the edge. Caleb Blaha tossed out of bounds by Max Marty, the safety.
Great blocking there by those Falcons, just letting Blaha find his space. And the Blue Coats did a good job of getting around and eventually getting him out, but they get the first down. That's all you really need to do if you're a Falcon.
Snap to Blaha. He swings it to Jalen Reed. Reed gets to the edge. Tackled along the far sideline. That was Ryan Spickerman on the tackle.
The biggest thing that this defense can do in the Blue Coats is you got to get a tackle for loss. You got to get a sack, something like that to really just find some momentum to kind of put a hush to this River Falls team.
Blaha on the rollout, looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught. Heading into the end zone, Jake Hilton, touchdown Falcons. Falcons strike again. Hilton got behind the defense, and it all started out with that little rollout. Watch Blaha. Coverage was shaded toward that far sideline. He came back to the near sideline, and Hilton just waltzed into the end zone. It's 13-0 Falcons with 9:48 to go, first quarter.
And we talked about how good Blaha is. I mean, he just knows how to read an offense, rolls out, finds his guy, puts it right in the bucket, and that's a touchdown.
Justin Scheberol. PAT is up, and it is good. With 9 minutes, 48 seconds remaining first quarter. Your score, Falcons 14, Blue Gold 0. You're watching WIAC football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network.
Pump up the savings with Festival Foods Gas Rewards. How does it work? Simple. Grab your card in store. Register online. Get points for every grocery run. Then roll up to Quick Trip and watch the prices roll back. Festival Foods Gas Rewards.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
UW River Falls leading UW-Eau Claire first quarter from Carson Park. Falcons, the number 10 ranked team in Division III, and leading all Division III teams in total offense with 600 yards, and they are off to a great start today.
For sure. I mean, if you're the Blue Coats, you had to expect this. I mean, this is a top offense in the league. I mean, you have to expect this type of just tempo.
Blue Gold's looking to answer. Yacht Chul on the return. He gets upended as he crosses the 20, and Chul a little slow to get up, and he appears to be favoring his left leg. So we talked about Yacht Chul being a real key to this UW-EC offense, and they would love to have him on the field.
Yeah, 402 yards, 4 touchdowns, 17.5 of an average catch. He is just really important, and hopefully he can get back out there. Hopefully just a little bit of a bruise.
He will start this drive on the sidelines. Hayden Helder's back to pass. Helder looking deep over the middle, caught. Just short of the 40-yard line, that's Matt Kuchai on the reception. Kuchai, the sophomore.
Getting a little bit of a bounce back after the last drive, just missing that catch the last drive. There, found his opening. I mean, caught the ball, was able to get good distance on it. Really good play there by Kuchai.
Yeah, I think that's great for the sophomore receiver. Come right back to him, get his confidence back. Blue Gold's first down to the 38. Yacht Chul is back on the field for the Blue Golds, and UW-EC will take a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. You're watching WIAC football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network.
Football season is just a few short days away, and here at Milwaukee Burger Company, we are gearing up for what may be our most exciting season yet. Milwaukee Burger Company, the best place to watch the game.
Welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire. UW-River Falls has scored on each of its drives so far. Blue Golds had to punt on their first drive. This is their second drive, and they've got a first down from their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, they had a great start with that pass to Kujai, and the biggest thing the Blue Golds need to do is, yes, you do need to score, but you also really just need a clean drive. If it doesn't lead to points, it's fine, but if you can get 6 to 7 minutes where you're on this field and just having a clean drive, it can go really a long way in this game.
UWEC sticking with that 4-receiver alignment, but now they flip the tight end Kalinsky to the near side. Movement up front. Everybody gets back. Rothmeyer breaks through and then gets flipped up and around. He'll get it out to the 40-yard line.
Rothmeyer, just a strong running back there. Found his hole. Great blocking by the Blue Golds. Got a little flipped up, but he stood right back up and is ready to continue attacking this Falcons team.
Taylor Sussner, one of the safeties, making the tackle for River Falls. The Falcons play a 4-2-5. Those safeties will often come up in run support. Empty backfield now for the quarterback, Aiden Helder. With time, lofts one down the sideline. A little too far for Paxton Rothmeyer.
The best thing he did there in Helder was put in a spot where only Rothmeyer could get in. Rothmeyer, yes, obviously wasn't able to get to it, but he made it so the Falcons had no shot to intercept that ball. And that's what you show in a young quarterback. Already being able to show that is great for this Blue Golds team.
3rd and 8 now for the Blue Golds. And given the score, and I'd say this is an important play coming up here for UWEC. Wide left is Pooley. Slot left, Kuchai. Near side is Keene. Helder changing the play. Helder will fire it far side where it's caught by Pooley. But he had to extend so far. He was really not in much of a position to get yards after the catch.
With that right there, I mean, he just put it a little bit too high, and Pooley just had to, wait. And if he didn't have to wait there, he probably could have gotten that first down. But having to wait to get to the ball definitely hindered him.
Yeah, and those bubble screens to your receivers, the timing has to be right there. And it even looked, though, that he had Kuchai out there as a blocker, but there were 3 white jerseys converging. And they blocked the punt again, and it's covered by the Falcons. Andre Hall on the recovery, and now the Falcons are in business.
And right there, you just see the size of these Falcons. They were just to burst through the special teams line there. And we saw it on the first drive. We saw it on the second drive. These Falcons have their size to just burst through the line and block it, and that just shows a great special teams unit.
Now the onus is on the Blue Golds defense. 1st and 10, River Falls from the 23. Blaha fakes the run, wheel route down the sideline, Trevor Asher, touchdown. Touchdown Falcons. This has been one impressive performance from UW-RF so far.
It's just a strong team. I mean, these Falcons, they're ranked top 10 nationally for a reason. I mean, they're showing it today. They're just playing great ball. And, I mean, it was just a beautiful pass there. And what can't you say about these Falcons of just how great of a team it is?
On for the extra point, Justin Schieberl. Yeah, it was great play design, too. They sold that designed run for the quarterback, Blaha. They slipped the running back, Asher, out down the near sideline on that wheel route. Pass was even a little underthrown, but Asher well ahead of the defenders for UWEC. He pulled that in, made the catch, and went into the end zone. 21-0 now. First quarter, 7:40. And, boy, I think you hark back to that UW lacrosse game a couple weeks ago when it was the Eagles getting out to that 21-0 lead. It's not an ideal situation for UWEC. The good news, there's still plenty of time. You got 7:40 left in the first quarter. But again, the pressure just keeps, with every touchdown that the Falcons score, it ramps up the pressure on this Blue Gold's offense to get a drive and to get some points.
Well, another thing that they really have to do is they have to figure out a way to switch up on defense, because it's the speed that's really burning this Blue Gold's defense. If you can find a way to combat that speed, you can stop this River Falls Falcons offense. But you just got to find a way to combat it.
And when we talked to Rob Erickson on Thursday, he said, well, you know, we can rush 4 and then have a spy on block because he's so good running the football that you have to account for him in the run game. Or you can rush 3, drop 8. But it's really a pick your poison kind of thing. And you go back to that last touchdown pass, they sold the run very well. Now here's Yacht Chul. He is taken down. Fantastic coverage by the Falcons. And that was Ashton Quaddy. Quaddy, a senior out of Ellsworth High School, Bay City, Wisconsin. And again, the other thing, you know, you're 6 games into the season now. There's a lot of tape out there. And so other teams can kind of study who you are and what you like to do, and you try to take that away. And it's the same for UW-EC scouting UW River Falls. You know what they like to do, but it's a matter of trying to counter that. So now the Blue Golds will start from their own 25. Helder on the slant, incomplete. Little bit behind his intended receiver that time, Nick Keene.
What you see with this Blue Gold's offense so far is you really see that they have that promise. They're showing the little edge that they have it, but they just got to put it together. And I think as the game on, we're going to really see this team put it together. They are a team that does start out slow on offense, and as the game goes on, they really pick it up. And I think we're going to really see that as the game goes on.
And that last play, it was there for a completion. It's just the pass was a little bit behind the receiver. You don't know whether the receiver broke off the route a little too early or if it was just Helder throwing behind. In any case, it's an incompletion. Helder back to pass again. They go back to that slant. It's complete to Matt Kuchai.
Pass complete to number 16, Matt Kuchai.
Helder has found Kuchai a lot early in this game, and Kuchai's done a really good job of just being able to get open and find his spots, and he's just able to get that ball right in his hands and just find and use his vision to find spots open. And if they can continue just getting these chunk plays, they can force this Falcons defense to stay on the field.
Yeah, and again, with that 4-2-5, there are going to be some openings in that zone. River Falls, the way they play, they don't want to get beat over the top. They'll give you some of that underneath stuff. So for the Blue Golds, it's going to be key to be efficient in their pass game. That pass, incomplete. Levi Pooley, the intended receiver, he was looking for contact, but the flags stay in the officials' pockets, and the Blue Golds will send the punt team out once again.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen 2 block punts so far, so how can that change? I mean, the one thing, but like, yeah, this Falcons team is a great defense. They have a great offense. The one thing you really say is that their special team hasn't been spectacular this year. Well, we've seen them be amazing in this game so far. 2 blocked punts. I mean, they haven't really let Chul break free on any of his returns. I mean, that's one thing that, like, this is a great special teams unit too.
And a different alignment on that punting team up front with just the one protector. We do have a penalty marker down. Jalen Reed evading a tackle, and then he's hauled out of bounds. But we'll check that penalty marker. It's thrown right near the near sideline, right around the 34-yard line.
That new formation, though, was good for the Blue Golds. It really didn't allow any pressure on the punter, and he was able to get a good punt off. Though it was a good return by the Falcons.
Good return, and they still put some pressure on. Those front guys, those front 10, they were coming. They were trying to get another one.
Legal formation on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty added on to the end of the kick. First down.
Well, we were talking about the formation, and well, it looks like they did it wrong.
Yeah, it's somebody. I'm guessing that it would have been one of those interior guys that was off the line of scrimmage, but that 5 yards gives the Falcons a first down at their own 39-yard line.
When you make a new formation in the game, or maybe they probably had it, but you're testing out a new one, you see that happen sometimes where people just line up wrong or whatever happens.
Trevor Asher on the carry. Blue Gold's got some penetration, and it was Jimmy McGovern wrapping him up for the tackle.
That's stuff you got to see for this Blue Goals defense. You got to be able to slow them down, and right there, that's the first time you really see them just kind of get that penetration and stop them in their tracks.
Empty backfield now for the Falcons. Blaha looking right, throws, completes. Ben Weslowski on the reception.
The Blue Goats can get to fourth down right here. That'd be very big for the rest of this game to stop the Falcons. For somebody able to stop them, it'll really stop their momentum in a way.
Trevor Asher on the carry. Again, Jimmy McGovern with the tackle. That'll bring up a fourth down. And the Falcons are going to keep the offense on the field.
And really, why not? I mean, this is a great offense, and you want to continue the attack on these Blue Golds.
On 4th and 4, Blaha buying some time. He's got a completion. He should have the first down. They'll give him forward progress just beyond midfield. It was Ben Weslowski on the reception.
When you're up 21-0 and you're in the WIAC, you got to keep the pressure on the other team. And you have this great of an offense, you're going to continue that pressure. 21-0, you got a first down. What can the Falcons continue to do?
Trevor Asher up the middle. Asher still going. Hauled down just inside the 35-yard line. Yanni Kandelakis on the tackle. Now they will split Asher into the slot near side. Rohrer wide to the left. Blaha looking that way. Caleb Blaha is now going to run with the penalty marker down. Blaha gets out of bounds. Well, we'll check on that penalty that was thrown right around the 40-yard line.
Holding. Number 77 on offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
DJ Fox with the hold, and that backs up the Falcons to the Blue Gold's 44-yard line.
One thing that I want to mention so far is Blaha is 10 for 10 right now for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has yet to make a mistake out there.
Flips that out to Jalen Reed. Reed using his speed, taken down inside the 35. Well, now he's 11 for 11, and he just kind of did a little shot put over the defense there.
Well, he also has 3 rushing attempts for 23 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's responsible for all these touchdowns so far for these Falcons. And we've talked about many times, he's just one of the best.
Reed, they fake the flip, and there goes Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed into the end zone from 32 yards out, and the Falcons add to their lead 27-0.
Well, Erickson talked about how this Falcons team probably has 100 plays, and they're going to throw 60 of them at you, and we saw one right there. Probably wasn't much in the film there, just a little bit of a fake, and just Reed able just to find that hole, and he's got the speed to just get to the end zone immediately.
Jalen Reed out of East St. Louis, Illinois, he is a burner. They lined him up as the Wildcat QB. They had Blaha in the slot. They faked the flip to Blaha, so at that point, if you're a defender, you're thinking, okay, here comes the pass. Instead, it's a little option play. Reed saw the hole, he hit it, and he's in the end zone. 4 minutes to go, 28-0, Falcons over the Blue Golds. We're back in 30 seconds. UW River Falls, impressive. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. The Falcons are leading UW-Eau Claire 28-0.
Yeah, 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. They have not allowed the Blue Ghosts to really gain in any offense. They have had 2 blocked punts. I mean, what haven't they done wrong this game? I couldn't really tell you. We haven't done right this game.
Everything has worked well. Justin Sheberl with the kick. Yacht Chul takes that right around his own 10. Here comes Yacht Chul. Chul, one man to beat. And it's the kicker, Sheberl, saving a touchdown there. Yacht Chul giving the Blue Goals a little bit of a spark there.
And that's what you need if you're the Blue Gold offense. You need that momentum back. You need to find a way to keep pushing forward. And, I mean, Chul is able to find his hole. Great blocking by the Blue Golds. And he uses that speed to get to the outside and really just had to make one more man miss, but just couldn't. The kicker always trying to save his team.
Best starting field position for the Blue Golds, their own 47. Helder on the rollout, throws. Caught on that far side by Nick Keene. Good gain on first down. And the Blue Golds are into Falcons territory.
The biggest thing you're seeing from Helder so far is, yeah, he's this great quarterback, but he's under pressure a lot, so he has to be fast with the ball. So a lot of his throws are a little bit off target. If he can find his little patience, find a way just to get that ball on target a little bit more. It's hard when you're under pressure, but if he can get that going, the Blue Goats offense will really start running.
Helder incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, Matt Kuchai. And that's something that older players, experienced players will talk about. They'll say the game slows down as you gain more experience. You've seen things. And it just looks like Helder, I mean, he's got the physical tools, he's got the smarts, he's got the leadership, all those intangibles. It's just that the game is kind of, it's a little fast, and he's just a little bit off. It's not by a lot, it's just a little bit.
And you can tell it, but as this game goes on, as he figures out this Falcons defense more and more, it's going to come to him more and more. I mean, he's a very efficient quarterback, and you will see it as the game goes on.
Audible for Helder. He throws it underneath. That's not going anywhere. Nick Keene made the reception, tackled immediately, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 5 and give him the down and distance. I like this call. Blue Goals keep the offense out there. We'll see if they run a play or if they're just going to try to get the Falcons to jump.
Well, also right here, you're kind of in no man's land. You can't really kick a field goal. You're not in field goal range, but punting also could just lead to a touchback. So you want to try to find a play here to get a first down.
Trips to the near side, single receiver to the far side. Helder, here comes pressure, throws underneath. Yacht Chul incomplete. Chul took an absolute lick there.
Definitely a
guy. That was Nick Wasco, senior defensive back. Popped Yacht Chul just as the ball arrived, and the Falcons take over.
Chul's a guy that's definitely gotten hit a lot so far, and a guy you need out there for this Blue Gold offense. He's very dynamic. He's very fast. He's your leading receiver in yards on the year. You want him out there. You can't have him be getting hit like that often.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons. Little flip to Jalen Reed, and he gets dropped. Blue Golds had that one sniffed out. Ryan Spickerman on the tackle.
The Blue Golds in this first quarter have been able to figure out this Falcons defense a little bit more and more. They're able to kind of slow them down a lot more and not let them get these big plays as much.
Blaha is going to scramble. Caleb Blaha taken down short of midfield. They're going to give him forward progress to the 49. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now for the Falcons as we're under 2 minutes to go, first quarter.
Blaha's a guy that just won't go down. I mean, it takes about 4 Blue Gold defenders that really take him down. And she goes down. I mean, just an athlete right there.
Keep an eye on this stack formation on the near side. Blaha instead looks deep over the middle. He's got his man caught. Steven Reifenberger. Blaha still perfect throwing the football.
Right there, I mean, you just, when the ball gets to the player, you got to hit him hard to try to knock that ball loose. And if they were able to get that ball loose, it would have been incompletion. It would have resulted in a 4th down there. But
so it's a 1st down for the Falcons. Line of scrimmage is the 28. Running back is Jalen Reed. Blaha. He's going to scramble, dumps it off to Reed. Reed makes one man miss, taken down short of the 20. Jimmy McGovern in pursuit that time, making the tackle.
This Falcons O-line has been great today, but you really see him, Blaha, when that pressure comes, he doesn't really let it really get to him. He rolls out, just takes as much time as he possibly can, and using his smarts, finds the player that's open.
Blaha has got another completion. Jalen Reed. 1st down Falcons. Clock continues to move. Trevor Asher checks in for Reed at running back.
Blaha is now 15 for 15 on the day. I mean, he really just can't be stopped right now.
Line of scrimmage is the 16. Falcons already up 4 touchdowns, driving again. Bly, here comes pressure. The pressure gets to him. Matthew Marquette on the blitz, the first one to get there.
Just did a really good job there of getting through the line and attacking Blaha, and Blaha just had no time to respond. All of a sudden, there's 3 Blue Golds right in his face.
First quarter's in the books. It's Falcons 28, Blue Gold 0. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com, the WIAC network.
Sports fans, we pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Start of the second quarter here at Carson Park. Falcons leading the Blue Golds 28-0. Let's send it down to the field where John McClain has a report for us.
Thank you, Bob. Well, we talked about the lightning-quick pace of this offense, and that is certainly holding true, especially in that first quarter. Already up 4 scores early, and they're taking only about 4 to 5 plays to score, whether that's down at their own 20 at midfield, off of the 30 when they got that punt block, and only scored in a pair of plays. That's making it very hard for this very substitution-heavy defense to get fresh legs in there. They're running a lot of plays to the far side, not allowing Coach Graybold and company to make any changes. And those guys out there, they're starting to get worn down by this high Top Gun offense. We'll see how this progresses and see how the defense adjusts and manages the rest of this game. Bob, Andrew, back to you guys.
Thanks, John. After that sack of Caleb Blaha at 2nd and 19, Blaha back to pass. And he runs away from one guy down the sideline, getting some positive yardage. Blue Gold's Jack Sheldrop thought he had the angle. Blaha is one of those guys, he doesn't look like he's got blazing speed, and yet you watch him over the course of a number of games, nobody catches him.
No one catches him, and he knows how to just kind of get that acceleration going. It's maybe not really blazing speed, it's just that he gets to his top speed immediately, and no one can really get to him right away. I mean, he just took advantage of, yes, you have a sack. Well, I'm going to regroup, I'm going to come right back down, and I'm going to get right past all of your defenders, and I'm going to get free. And you saw it there. I mean, uses his speed, uses all of his smarts. I mean, just an amazing quarterback here.
On that far sideline, Trevor Asher, starting running back for the Falcons, had to come out of the game, and he's getting some attention on that far sideline. The training staff helping him to his feet. Seems to be walking okay, favoring one of those legs. Trevor Asher is an outstanding player, had a great high school career playing for Elmwood Plum City.
Yeah, I mean, so far in this game, he's had 4 attempts for 46 yards. He's had 2 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's been very dynamic for these Falcons so far.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
So the defensive holding penalty moves the football forward and gives the Falcons a first down. Reed, the running back. Snap to Blaha. Hands to Reed. Reed bouncing it outside, dragged down from behind. Hoffner had a lot of jersey and was able to pull him down. Good job by senior linebacker of the Blue Gold. 2nd and 7 now. Blaha looking left. He's got Reed. Reed taken down at the 6-yard line.
I mean, Reed is just a great player in himself. I mean, we talked about how great Asher is. And he goes out, and Reed already stepping in and playing great.
Movement up front. It was Drew Kemple, the tight end on the near side, who moved for the Falcons. Well, yeah, Reed is he's just a perfect safety valve. He's got good hands. He's so elusive, and he's got that high-end speed.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw it with that touchdown earlier where on that Wildcat formation, just found his hole and just took off, and no defender could catch him.
Trips to the near side. Caleb Blaha surveys the defense, and now we have got a timeout taken by the Blue Golds. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. Falcons leading the Blue Golds, and UWRF is driving. They've got the ball on the UWEC 11-yard line, looking at a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Blue Golds had to call a timeout there because they didn't have a guy covered. And you saw the coaches like, get over. Well, they couldn't get over in time. They called a timeout just before the play was called. Great timeout, but the coaches are definitely not going to be happy to use that timeout in that situation.
Yeah, they're down to 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. Remember, the Blue Golds will have to kick to the Falcons to start this game, or to start the 3rd quarter, I should say. Blaha to the end zone, caught, touchdown. Austin Rush pulls in the touchdown pass from Caleb Blaha, who still has not thrown an incompletion. He's thrown 3 touchdowns. And it's 34-0. I tell you, this is one impressive performance from this UWRF offense.
And really just in Blaha in general, 17 for 17, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. You also have 4 attempts for 20 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown there. I mean, just playing really great. And I mean, what else can you say about this guy? He knows what he's doing.
Video game numbers, what he's putting up. Kick is good by Sheberl. 13:38 remaining. 35-0 is your score. We're back in a bit on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. All UW River Falls so far here at Carson Park. Falcons 35, Blue Golds 0.
I mean, we talked about it earlier, 71-14 last year. They've circled that matchup. They don't want it to happen again. How do you make that not happen again? You just got to be aggressive on offense. You got to start taking risks. You got to be aggressive on defense, and you got to figure out a way to really just slow down this offense and how great it is.
Justin Schieberl with the boots. Yacht Chul will take that from his own 11. Yacht Chul looking to get to that sideline, jumps free, and takes it across the 35-yard line. Solid return for Yacht Chul. This is the time, Andrew, where I think the Blue Golds just have to look at, all right, we got to flush whatever's happened. It's in the past, and let's win this drive. Let's win this play. Break the game down to those smaller elements and see if you can't get some momentum going.
Yeah, when you're down by this much, it's all about winning the little things. You win the play, you win the next play, you win the drive. If you can start winning the little things, you can start winning the big things.
Snap to Helder, throws near side. He's got a completion. How about that move, Levi Pooley? Shook a defender, and it's a first down pass play for the Blue Golds.
Right there. You win the play right there. You do a great job on shaking the defender and just getting your outside there. And it's not even about the speed there. It's all about just finding a way to get around these defenders. And Pooley does a really good job and a great catch and run there.
Blue Golds have moved into Falcons territory at the 49. Empty backfield. Design run, Aiden Helder. Helder gets to the edge. Gage Tim, the linebacker, had a lot of jersey and was able to slow down Aiden Helder. Helder could have had about another 5-10 yards on that one.
I mean, Helder, I think, is a guy that can be, obviously there's not really anyone that can be like Blaha, but he's a guy that can be a lot like him. He's got that rushing ability, but he's also a great and efficient passer. And you see it in spurts in this game of how he's just a lot like Blaha.
Chul going in motion. Helder play fake. And he gets rid of it. It's an incomplete pass, and the Falcons coaching staff wants intentional grounding, and now the officials are going to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know if he was able to get it to, there really wasn't anyone too close to him where he was throwing. I wouldn't doubt if they do call intentional grounding here.
They're going to say that Helder's knee touched the ground, so it'll be a loss on the play. So the knee touched before Helder got rid of it. But it brings up a 3rd and 13 now.
And those right there are just the mistakes you just kind of can't happen. He just gets tripped up. He hits the ground, and if you're the Blue Golds, you just can't have these mistakes right now.
Helder under pressure. He steps up. Aiden Helder hit from behind and dropped. Gage Tim making another play.
The quarterback, Aiden Helder, stopped on the play by number 91, Bo Stroke.
Actually, that was Bo Schroet making that tackle, 91 and not 12. Well, 12 was in the vicinity. And once again, the Blue Golds punt team is on the field.
Well, we've already seen 2 block punts so far. And this new formation has worked, though, so far for the Blue Golds.
Jalen Reed will back off. Ball kind of checks up right around the 21. That's where UW-River Falls will start this possession.
For River Falls, they'll start 1st and 10.
Well, this UWRF offense has been as advertised. I watched some of their games, previous games from this year online, and, you know, they look impressive when you're watching, but you see them in person, the precision and the execution is really outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the fast tempo. But the Blue Golds have found the little ways to stop it, but just not for a controlled amount of time.
Here goes Blaha. Takes it out for a good positive gain. Brought down close to the 30, but now Blaha gets up favoring, looks like his right leg. So stepping in as the backup, Cade Fitzgerald. So this is something we're obviously going to want to monitor as this game goes forward. Caleb Blaha came up limping a little bit. Ashton Quaddy, now the running back, he takes the handoff. So again, you've got 2 starters in that backfield. who are out of the game. Trevor Asher, the running back who had to leave, and now Caleb Blaha heading to the sideline.
When you see your quarterback go down, you're going to see a team really favor the rush. And we saw it there immediately as they immediately go and run the ball.
Fitzgerald will run it. Now, Fitzgerald is a very good quarterback in his own right. He is a senior. He's been around the block, went to Osseo High School. He's from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, been part of the system. And Blaha in recent years has gotten dinged up a little bit, and Fitzgerald has stepped in. For the most part, the offense hasn't missed a beat. They flip it to Quaddy out of the backfield. And he gets it across the 36.
In football, you always have to have a great backup because of how much injuries can happen in this game. You have a great backup, you can really just keep the momentum going, and that's what this Falcons team needs to do.
Fitzgerald, he's got a completion. And taking it for the first down is Jake Hilton.
Well, the two quarterbacks combined right now are 19 for 19.
I would say that's good. Blue Golds have a man down. Hilton will have to exit for at least one play because his helmet came off. So while they tend to this injured Blue Gold, we will take a timeout. You're watching WIAC football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network.
This is a Wisconsin farmer. She grows the locally sourced freshness, the freshness that complements the wild-caught salmon, the salmon that tees up the cheesecake, the cheesecake that sweetens every moment. Festival Foods. We are Wisconsin.
Commitment to excellence. That's the Blue Gold standard. It's the same for E.O. Johnson Business Technologies and LockNet Managed IT. We want you to be the best in your business, so we provide the gold standard in print, data security, document management, and scanning. This is our commitment. E.O. Johnson Business Technologies, your business better. LockNet Managed IT, your business secure.
The injured Blue Gold is the senior linebacker, Yanni Kanalakis. He's being helped to the sideline. Looks like he's favoring the lower leg. Kanalakis, the guy. Oh, and there goes Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to the 20 and to the end zone. Cade Fitzgerald, the backup quarterback. However, we got a penalty marker down.
I mean, a great fake there. It got me, I'll say that. And just Fitzgerald burst his way through. And I mean, you take Baha out, and Fitzgerald just comes right out, and he's playing so great, and he's so fast, and he just finds his way through.
Well, and they're going to run the same stuff. Maybe the playbook shrinks a little bit, but, you know, Fitzgerald's a senior. He knows the offense. And UWRF is celebrating. That penalty was on the Blue Golds, and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, the flag was picked up, and just a touchdown for these Falcons. I mean, what else can you say? This Falcons team is just playing with the right tempo. They just know what they're doing. As you said, they're not going to switch it up. They're going to keep the same pressure on this Blue Golds team, the same plays, because of how confident they are in their team.
That will be assessed on the kickoff.
So that'll likely mean the Blue Goals will start their next drive in unfavorable field position. The scoreboard is definitely unfavorable. Pinning the extra point here from Justin Shebrel.
28, Justin Shebrel in to attempt the extra point.
Snap is down, kick is on the way, it is good. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go before halftime. All Falcons, they lead at 42-0. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIC network.
Nobody pays more money for nice, locally owned vehicles than we do.
We pay big bucks every day of the week except Sundays.
If you've got a vehicle you'd like to sell, bring it to Eau Claire Ford Lincoln Quick Lane.
We'll give you an instant appraisal and cash offer.
With no pressure and no obligation.
We bought hundreds of locally owned vehicles because people like how easy it is.
How much safer it is, and how much more money they got.
Eau Claire Ford Lincoln Quick Lane. Thanks for thinking of us first.
UW River Falls backing up that number 10 national ranking. All over the Blue Goals today, 42-0. Offensive juggernaut, this Falcons team. And the penalty on that long touchdown run by backup quarterback Cade Fitzgerald. It was a legal hands to the face. It was accepted. You get the result of the play and the penalty yardage. We'll see what Shebrel does here. Does he just boom it through the end zone and make the Blue Gold start at their 20, or does he try to pop one up in the air and make the Blue Golds call a fair catch?
With having this big of a lead early, you can really start testing things and see what can go right, what can go wrong. I wouldn't doubt if they just pop it up in the air.
Kicks it into the end zone. So the
zone
Blue Golds
It'll be 1st and 10
will
for
start on
the Blue
offense. And it looks like they're going to keep Aiden Helder in at QB a number of games. In fact, every game this season, the Blue Goals have run Kendon Krogman, the sophomore out of Eau Claire Regis, a transfer from Southwest Minnesota State. They have a package of run plays, with Krogman being the outstanding runner that he is. But for the moment, they keep Aiden Helder in the game. He's got a completion and a nice little play design there. And Nick Keene. Keene is a burner. Keene is a guy that I think the Blue Golds, as good as Yacht Schul has been in the pass game for the Blue Golds, Keene gives him that element of speed. And that way, what they did just there was great play design, and they got it to Keene, who is going in motion. It's a first down out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Keene really showing that speed. He's a sophomore. Same with Kuzjak, and that's what you got to look forward to with this future is they got some young receivers.
Play fake to Rothmeyer, incomplete. It was in and out of the hands of Matt Kuzjak.
Well, if he would have caught it there, he would have gotten hit hard by the Falcons too, so it's not even a guarantee they would have been able to hold on the ball after the fact.
Line of scrimmage is the 36.
We talked about earlier, this is where you got to start winning the little battles. You got to win this play. You got to win the next play. You got to win the drive.
You know, for the Blue Golds at this point, it's as much mental as it is physical. The pitch to Rothmeyer. He's got some running room. Paxton Rothmeyer to the edge. Gets it across the 40. Tackled by Taylor Sussner.
Yeah, it is definitely just as much physical as it is mental. You have to kind of erase that scoreboard. It's 0-0 in your head. You are just focused on the next play. You can't be focused on that scoreboard. Football is very much a mental game. You got to stay out of your head.
3rd and 4 for the Blue Golds. Helder throws underneath, complete for a first down. Nick Keene on the reception.
Seeing him a lot on this drive, and he has looked good. He's found his openings. And if the Blue Golds can win this drive, they can get some scores, you're going to start looking up. They get a score. It's a big momentum boost to this defense.
Falcons are already doing a little bit of substituting on defense, but they still have a majority of their starters in there. Helder under pressure, nearly intercepted. Here they were trying to set up a screen on that side, but Rothmeyer was in all sorts of traffic. The pressure came on Helder. He nearly threw that into one of the big guys up front. Let's take another look.
Helder, not a guy who makes a lot of mistakes. Only 2 interceptions on the year, 64% completion percentage on the year, but just a little bit of a mistake right there, just kind of putting it right on a Falcon player.
Quick pass, Rothmeyer. Taken down at the 46.
Tackle on the play by number 31.
Jared Schultz on the tackle for UW-RF.
3rd down and 12.
Now it's a 3rd and 12. Falcons will put that nickel defense out on the field. Third and 12. Line of scrimmage is the 47. Pressure coming on Helder. Deep ball, far side, and it's caught. First down, Blue Golds. Still on his feet. Mason Sullivan doing a nice job after the catch.
16 on the tackle.
What a pass there by Helder. And a great catch there by Sullivan. Just putting it right where Sullivan would be the only one to catch it. And Sullivan just finding his way around the defense and not allowing him to be taken down. Ball did come loose at the last second, but Blue Golds did a really good job jumping on that ball and not letting the Falcons get to it. And just a great play there.
And some yards after the catch, he was able to shake a couple of defenders. First down, Blue Golds. They flip it out to Nick Keene. Nick Keene still on his feet. Brings it just inside the 20.
This is always when you usually see that Blue Golds offense start waking up in games. They're a team that doesn't play the best in the first quarter. That doesn't play the best in the start of the second quarter. But as the game goes on, they really start to learn this defense. These defenses that they're playing, they just start getting better. They start looking more fluid. They start really knowing what to do.
And on this drive, they're attacking the perimeter better than they have early in the game. Second and short, Helder. Deep ball, caught. Lunging for the end zone for the touchdown, Levi Pooley. And the Blue Golds are on the board. That was a nice, efficient drive by UW-EC.
You really have to take that right there. I mean, just a beautiful pass. And Pooley just not giving up. He's just staying up, and finally able to reach over. And you, again, as I said, you take that. That's how you win the drive.
Satchel Johnson on for the PAT. Vince Hans is the holder. Snap down, kick up, and it is good. Blue Golds on the board. It's 42-7, 4:45 to go second quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network. Blue Golds on the board. 42-7 is your score. That's the drive they've been looking for in this game. They were able to work some of the perimeter. They just executed. The blocking was better. Guys pulled in passes. Passes were on track. Again, I think we've seen over the course of the season what this offense is capable of. They're not there yet. We've seen that in all their games, even their wins. They're not there yet, but if they can continue on this trend, I think this is a team that, you know, as these guys get older and get more experience, I think they're going to be able to put some points on the board.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing you saw there, and we've kind of been mentioning this a couple times, but we've needed another wide receiver on this Blue Golds team to kind of step up. And we saw Pooley, Keene, Sullivan all make big plays on that drive and step up for these Blue Golds because they've had True all season, but you see those other three guys really step up there, and obviously Pooley got that touchdown.
Mason Stecker on the tackle, and now Jalen Reed of the Falcons is slow to get up. Remember, they lost Trevor Asher, their starting running back, early in this game. Now Reed, who alternates with Asher, is down and slow to get up. And, of course, Caleb Blaha, the quarterback, had to exit. So injuries are starting to become a factor for UW-RF. There's still plenty of game to play. But if you're looking at this from the Falcons' perspective, there is some concern because you want to keep this season going into the playoffs and to make a run. I mean, you've got all the pieces. You've got that experienced team. You've got one of the most dynamic players in the country in Caleb Blaha. But all of a sudden now you've got three of your key players that are going to be on the sideline. So we certainly wish the best for all those UW-RF players. They are just really something to watch. But it's going to be a challenge for Matt Walker and his coaching staff. We got Ashton Quaddy in the backfield next to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald fakes the run, throws incomplete, and that is the first incomplete pass thrown by a UW-RF quarterback today.
Yeah, and I mean, it just shows how great that offense is. And I mean, they bring in Quaddy. That's their third string running back. They have their second string quarterback, and they're still playing great. They're still not switching it up and just continuing on what they do best, and that's high-tempo offense.
Empty backfield. Cade Fitzgerald's going to run it, and he's got nowhere to go.
One thing you see by this Blue Gold defense is the Blue Gold scored a touchdown. Finally, the offense is giving you a little bit of a break. They had this long drive, and now you had that break, and now you can go on the attack. You can stop this offense now.
Freshman Duke Dotson on the tackle for the Blue Golds. Fitzgerald in trouble, and Dotson's got him again. Duke Dotson, freshman out of Minneapolis North High School, making an impact. And here's another news flash. The Falcons are going to have to punt.
That's the first time that they have had to punt this day. And again, this is where the Blue Golds really start playing well. Is when you get into this late second quarter, going into the third and the fourth quarter, they just really start looking like a better team.
Jeffrey Freund is going to punt for UW-RF. Blue Golds putting on all kinds of pressure, and boy, what a kick that is. And it's going to go over the head of Keene and roll out of bounds. Wow. Talk about a weapon there. Jeffrey Freund, that was a boot.
I mean, it's really just funny how many times we talk about, but just how great this Falcons team is from top to bottom. I mean,
that was a
great punter, great offense, great defense. Their special teams always is just getting and disrupting this Blue Gold special teams. I mean, what can't you say about this team? I mean, what a kick. I mean, he was under pressure, and he launched it almost 70 yards.
You're going to win some punt, pass, and kick competitions with that kind of a boot. 1st and 10, Blue Golds from their own 22. Rothmeyer remains at running back. Helder's going to have to run. He slides down at the 25.
Great slide there, very smart. You're noticing that you got pressure coming at you. You got to get down. You don't want to risk injury. You don't want to fumble the ball. Just like a little quick chunk play.
Short gain to bring up a 2nd and 9. We're under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Keene split out wide to the left as Helder looks like he's changing the play. Fakes the option, Aiden Helder on the keep.
Aiden Helder on the carry.
Gets it out to the 28-yard line.
Tackle by number 50, Brady Brown.
River Falls.
UW-RF takes a timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIEC network. Falcons defense taking the timeout. They may be looking to get a stop and get the ball back. 2:38 to go, and they lead 42-7.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Goats just had a great offensive drive. They did a great job on defense. If you really want to continue this momentum that you're gaining, you have to get this third down conversion, and you have to continue driving down this field. Especially approaching the 2-minute warning.
Kuchai wide to the near side. Chul in the slot. Far side, you got Pooley and Keene. Keene, the wide guy. Helder with pressure. Yacht Chul wide open. Now it's a foot race. Yacht Chul to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Blue Gold.
No, I said you needed to get the third down conversion. That's one way to do it. They just lost Chul, and I mean, finding his first actual real catch of the game right there, and just breaks free to the end zone. I mean, what a great wide receiver you have right there in Chul, and just making his way to the end zone.
Great adjustment at the line, great route, great pass, touchdown Blue Golds. So they're giving the home fans something to cheer about. Here's Satchel Johnson for the PAT.
That was a 72-yard touchdown by Chul.
So with 2:27 remaining before halftime, your score, Falcons 42, Blue Golds 14. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIEC network.
I forgot the sausage. Oh my God. Perfect. Holy, what's the password? There he goes. He got it. I want a Sunday.
Blue Golds have scored 14 straight points after spotting River Falls 42. But we talked about it, Andrew Thaler, that, hey, you got to just forget about the scoreboard and just go out there and play. Break the game down. Let's just try to win this play. Let's try to win this drive. Let's try to win this quarter, things like that. And you like the fight that the Blue Golds are showing here.
Yeah, and I really do in general feel like they have just broken this game down and done it win by play, win by drive, win by quarter. You got to just erase that scoreboard. It's 0-0. And, I mean, they've just looked great on these last 3 total drives. They've just stopped the Falcons really in their tracks and been able to score.
Kick by Connor Rayday. That's going to be taken by Daniel Stokes.
Kick goes out of bounds. It'll be first and 10 for River Falls.
And River Falls will start from its own territory. And if you're just joining us, River Falls jumped out to this big lead, but along the way, quarterback Caleb Blaha had to exit. So did Trevor Asher, the starting running back, but Asher is back in there now. Jalen Reed, who alternates with Asher, he also had to leave for injury. So good to see Trevor Asher back on the field for UW-RF.
And that's big for them so far. He's had 4 attempts for 46 yards and 2 receptions for 45.
Cade Fitzgerald throws underneath. He's got a completion to Ben Weslowski.
River Falls quarterbacks on the day are 20 for 21 for 211 yards. And
River
3
Falls
touchdowns.
looking to get the playoff before the 2-minute timeout, and they do. Fitzgerald will carry it. And the clock stops. We're at the 2-minute timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. WIAC started this day with numerous teams ranked in the Division III Top 25. This UW River Falls team came in at number 10 this week, and they are certainly showing that they are worthy of that high national ranking. Challenge in the WIAC, though, is who's going to be able to survive this gauntlet of tough games every single week. And who's going to be healthy enough and sharp enough to make that run in the postseason?
Yeah, but the best thing about that is with how great this WIAC conference is, we've said it many times, it's the SEC of D3, is when they get to the playoffs, they're one of the best teams in the playoffs because they've been playing playoff caliber teams every single week.
Asher going in motion. Fitzgerald will keep it. Ball on the ground. It's loose. Who's got it?
Blue Gold saying they've got it.
Who knows what's going on at the bottom of that pile? And the Blue Golds have it. First down, Blue Golds. At the bottom of that pile. Yeah, you see it came loose, and there, one of the Blue Golds who got to that pile a little late. It was Brady Pulse. Ball wound up, and he pounced on it. Now UW-Eau Claire, with 1:56 left, has it on the UWRF 26-yard line. Getting a little bit more interesting here at Carson Park. Aiden Helder. Helder will run. Aiden Helder still on his feet. Helder down right at the 10-yard line. First down, UWEC.
Well, what were two of the keys of the game? Win the turnover battle and make your opportunities matter. And right away, you're making your opportunity matter. If they can score a touchdown here, they can really do it. Really use those two keys to the game right there.
He just liked the response by this UWEC team.
They don't give up.
First and goal from the 10. Empty backfield. Helder. He'll keep. With a lot of white jerseys on that side and just nowhere to go. It was Gage Tim on the tackle for the Falcons. Blue Golds have one timeout left as the clock winds down here, second quarter.
Helder on the day, 14 for 25, 195 yards, 56% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 7 rushing attempts for 27 yards.
Helder to the end zone. Yacht Jewell makes the adjustment, makes the catch for the touchdown. Touchdown, Blue Gold.
I mean, you're just not going to see much better of a catch there. What a catch by Jewell. Not giving up on the ball, falling down, and just able to just reach his hands out there to make the diving catch. And he's just one of the best wide receivers in the WIAC. Top 5 in receiving yards. And you see it right there with beautiful hands and a beautiful catch right there.
The back shoulder fade, and Jewell making an incredible adjustment and an even better catch. Blue Golds boot the extra point to make it a 42-21 game as we head toward halftime. And this game is flipped. Yeah, Falcons are still up 3 touchdowns, and yet there's a different vibe in this place.
Well, I think the biggest turning point we saw was when both your quarterback and 2 running backs go down for this Falcons team. Yes, you still have this great team. You have this great tempo. But you got to switch things up. You got to change things up. And you can see the defense, they found a little more confidence. And as the scoreboard just keeps running up, you get more confidence on the defense. And obviously, you get more confidence on the offense. And, I mean, you're just seeing both sides of this blue-gold team just playing a lot better as this game moves on.
Well, and human nature being what it is, when it's 42-0, the team in the league, yeah, you're going to try to say all the right things, but somewhere inside you, you're like, okay, we got this. We're fine. And on the other side, the tendency is to go, well, that's not happening today. All right, we'll just keep moving on. But then something changes. There's a spark, whatever it is, and now all of a sudden the Blue Golds have that belief back. They're feeling like, hey, wait a second now. We've got an opportunity, and we got to take advantage of it. And you go back to the keys to the game. And that was one of them. Take advantage of those opportunities. Be intentional. The Blue Golds have done a good job of that. Here's Daniel Stokes. Stokes tripped up and taken down. And, boy, Stokes was going with a lot of velocity.
This Falcons team has 2 timeouts. They have 31 seconds. Still a lot of time left to get a score with how high tempo, with how fast this offense is. They will be able to get down the field. The Blue Golds just have to stop them.
It was Ryan Spickerman who just tripped up Daniel Stokes. So Cade Fitzgerald remains at quarterback for the injured Caleb Blaha. Fitzgerald all kinds of time, trying to direct traffic. Fitzgerald's going to run. He's got the 40, and he gets out of bounds. And it's a first down for the Falcons. We have 21 seconds remaining.
Blue Golds only rushed 3, so he had as much time as he really needed. Saw no one was open and did the smart thing. Let's run the ball. Let's get out of bounds. And just was able to just find his hole and got out of bounds. Great play there by Fitzgerald.
First and 10 Falcons from the 45.
Fitzgerald's a leading rusher so far for this Falcons team.
Fitzgerald yards. Forced out of the pocket. Penalty marker down. He's got a completion into Blue Golds territory. But let's check the flag. It's Ben Wisłowski on the reception. Initial indication is holding on the Falcons.
Yeah, it looked like it was holding.
Yeah, I think it was on that near side. Brady Poles had a really good rush from his left defensive end position, and the tackle on that near side had to grab a little bit of jersey. So we're down to 14 seconds. Falcons looking at a 1st and 20 from their own 35. Blue Golds have 7 defensive backs between the 45 of River Falls and the 40 of Eau Claire. Falcons will throw underneath. They've got Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed back in the game.
Number 4, Jalen Reed.
They just brought in Frank Daniels at quarterback. The Falcons did, taking Fitzgerald out.
Daniels a freshman, 6'5", 208. So I'm guessing this is Hail Mary time here.
He's probably got a very strong arm.
Blue Golds have 3 defenders inside their own 5. Long bomb near sideline, up in the air and batted down. Blue Golds batted down, and with that, the first half ends. UW-EC down by 21 points, but feeling a little better after getting off the mat, scoring 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, you were down 42-0, but you didn't give up. You just found your way to get down the field. First, you got the ball to Pooley to score that touchdown. Then you found the long pass to Truel where he got a 72-yard touchdown. And then Truel again able to just dive and make that catch off of the fumble. I mean, just a great job there by the Blue Golds to not give up.
As we said, a much different vibe here at Carson Park, especially among the home fans, if you're the River Falls side, you're going to be a little concerned. The good news is that the two running backs are back playing for UW-RF, Trevor Asher and Jalen Reed, but still sideline is the quarterback, Caleb Blaha. Blue Gold's head coach, Rob Erickson, standing by right now with our John McClain. John, take it away.
Thank you, Bob. I'm here with Coach Rob Erickson. Coach, a very big momentum swing, obviously, through the air. Now 21 unanswered in the second quarter. How do you guys keep your foot on the gas, especially through the air in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to keep playing with confidence. Early on, we got caught. They made some big plays, obviously, and got ahead, but our kids just keep staying the course, keep fighting, and now we're starting to see our kids just kind of play relaxed and making big plays. Yacht just having a big day.
That is one thing for certain. Agent Zero is doing his thing. Now, defensively in the secondary, only 2 incompletions so far. What are some adjustments in the locker room at halftime to come out this second half and start to shut down the offense on the other side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing a lot of man, and they're getting behind us, or they're getting inside of us, and, so we kind of went into more zone mode, and, they're 5 wide all the time, and so they're finding the spots in the zone, and we just got to stay relentless. I mean, the biggest thing is this team averages 600 yards a game. And so for us, we just got to continue to fight when we get in the red zone and get stops when we get close to the red zone. And that's where, what we're seeing, we're getting stops on third down. Caleb Blaha is out now, so we'll see what he looks like in the second half. But we just got to stay hungry, so keep going. But, I mean, I'm proud of the way the last 15 minutes has went.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
You bet.
All right, thank you, John. Yeah, Rob Erickson, that, again, as a coach, you're just searching for answers when you're down 42-0, and I agree with Coach Erickson. Sometimes it just comes down to confidence and playing loose and just playing like, hey, we got nothing to lose. Okay, we're going up against the 10th-ranked team in the country, and let's just show what we can do. And the Blue Golds have taken advantage of some opportunities. They recovered a fumble. Caleb Blaha's injury obviously is a big one for UW-RF, something we're going to monitor throughout the course of this game. But Blue Golds feeling better heading into halftime, down 42-21. Andrew Thaller and I will take a break, but we'll keep it right here. And we'll show you the Blue Gold Marching Band with their halftime performance. Once again, your score, Falcons 42, Blue Golds 21. Keep it here. You're watching football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network.
Devils roll the dice and angels roll their eyes. It's a cruel summer with Taylor Swift.
Like a poem said by a lady in red, you'll hear the next few songs of the night. You'll feel the beat under your feet as the BMB drumline sets the floor on fire with this pop icon. But in the cultural sense, let's just speak in future tense and say abracadabra with Lady Gaga. We're having wicked dreams out here in BMB. Here's Santa Monica. I swear it's calling the Grammy-winning Best New Artist of the Year. Black lights and a mirrored disco ball. Every night's another reason we're gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club with Chapel Roan. You can see the stars all the way from here, and you'll be smiling out from ear to ear as the BMB puts your love on top with this 35-time Grammy winner. Park your Lexus, because this ain't Texas. It's a real-life boogie and a real-life hoedown with Beyonce. The Blue Gold Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Kara Metzger and Assistant Director David Lofi. Our drum majors are Simeon Doyen, Dante Mulkey, and Carly Hetrick. Our featured twirler is Desiree Dilly, and our piano soloist is Sierra Link. As the BMB leaves the field, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our graduating seniors who are performing today at Carson Park for the last time. Please join us in applauding our departing members. Thank you, seniors. There's still one more chance to see us in Eau Claire this season. Our indoor concert at the Sonnentag takes place on Thursday, November 6th. See our social media for details and buy your tickets online. Thank you, football fans, and enjoy the rest of today's game.
This is Price Slice from Festival Foods. It's how you can save big every time you visit. You'll find thousands of your favorite items with sliced prices, and we're constantly slicing more. Get what's on your list for less with Price Slice.
Pump up the savings with Festival Foods Gas Rewards. How does it work? Simple. Grab your card in store. Register online. Get points for every grocery run. Then roll up to Quick Trip and watch the prices roll back. Festival Foods Gas Rewards.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Football season is just a few short days away, and here at Milwaukee Burger Company, we are gearing up for what may be our most exciting season yet. Milwaukee Burger Company, the best place to watch the game.
sports fans. We pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
To Carson Park in Eau Claire, getting set for the third quarter of this WIAC matchup between UW River Falls and UW-Eau Claire. Falcons leading the Blue Golds 42-21. UWC feeling a little better after scoring the last 21 points of that quarter. Bob Bradovich, Andrew Thaller joining you from the press box here at Carson Park. We're going to go straight to our first half highlights, Andrew, and there were plenty. And early on, it was the Falcons with the majority of those highlights. There goes Caleb Blaha, 9-yard rush for the touchdown. And then Blaha, pitch and catch that time to Jake Hilton. And that offense just kept firing. Blaha to Trevor Asher for the touchdown. That covered 23 yards. And then Jalen Reed, really nice play design.
So the Wildcat formation right there.
Yeah, 32-yard touchdown run, and then Blaha to the end zone, Austin Rush. 42-0, and then the Blue Golds got it going. And a couple plays that sparked them. Nice little pitch and catch that time. Mason Sullivan with some yards after the catch. Caleb Blaha had to exit with an injury. Kate Fitzgerald did run for a long touchdown, but then the Blue Golds defense started getting some stops. And Aiden Helder found Yacht Schewel. That play covering 72 yards. And then a fumble by UWRF, and then a beautiful pitch and catch from Helder to Chewell. And you heard Rob Erickson talking at halftime. It's just that guys are, hey, you're playing with more confidence and just executing better. So we'll see who can carry that over. I tell you, that 42-point burst from River Falls was impressive, to say the least. But we'll see who's going to be the QB. I can look across to that far sideline. I see Caleb, check that. Yeah, Caleb Blaha on that far sideline walking around. He's got a football in his hand. We'll see who Falcons put out there as QB. Let's take a look at some first half stats. And, wow, I mean, River Falls came in averaging 600 yards per game, and they are well on track to get to that mark today. 397, that's impressive. Blue Golds, though, again, after sputtering early on, got things going. Time of possession, Blue Golds, I think if they can just swing that a little bit more into their favor, that will bode well for their chances in this second half. And it's a second half that'll start with UW-EC possessing the football.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it with John, and I talked about it with you. I mean, we were questioning what's the reason really to defer the ball? I mean, yeah, obviously you get it at halftime, but you let this Falcons team get rolling. And now you're looking at it and you're thinking, hey, we just had 21 straight points on this Falcons team. We get the ball back at halftime. We're looking strong. We're looking confident. We have the momentum now. Now let's attack this Falcons team.
Justin Schibberl to kick it off. It's going to be Yacht Schewel on the return. Schewel gets tripped up after he crosses the 20, and the Blue Golds will start in their own territory, trailing 42-21, but as we've been saying, feeling a little better about the way this game is unfolding.
It's been a lot like that lacrosse game where they just let up those 21 points early, but after that they really kind of just won the game, except for the fact that they still lost the game.
I know where you're going with this.
They played really well, and they were attacking the lacrosse team. It's just that early start where they just weren't playing the best.
They won the second, third, and fourth quarters.
Yeah.
Here's a pass to Nick Keene. And there's that Noah Nussbaum. We talked about him in our open, and you can see he's a linebacker. Boy, he goes sideline to sideline. Good size guy, 6 feet 220, and runs well.
Yeah, and I mean, young guy. He's a freshman for this team, and he is just going to be a great player for this Falcons team for the next 4 years, and you see it tonight.
Empty backfield for the quarterback, Aiden Helder. Protection holds up. Now Helder running for his life, and he'll just throw that out of bounds. He got outside the hash mark, so out of the pocket, but it brings up a 3rd and 11 for UW-EC. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say that time the 4-man rush was getting some pressure on Helder.
Early on in this drive, it looks a lot like the first drive of the game for the Blue Golds. In the first half, just a little shaky. You're throwing the ball away, and as we see a flag down right there, I mean, you got to find your way to find the momentum here early.
Intentional grounding. Eau Claire. Spot of the foul. It's the 3-yard line.
Well, we would have to get the telestrator out and draw the lines to ascertain what the tackle box was. I thought the fact that he was able to get beyond the hash marks, they would let that one slide, but they did not. So now the Blue Golds are really in an unfavorable down and distance. 3rd and 32 from their own 3.
Well, you don't always really see this situation. 3rd and 32. What play do you go to? I mean, you got to go for a long one. Sometimes you're backed up this far, they'll just really rush it, so you play it safe and you kind of just go to the punt.
Years ago, I saw the Blue Golds connect on a 99-yard touchdown pass from their own 1, starting from this end of the field. Instead, they flip it out to Rothmeyer. He gets flipped up and over. Trent Cherry on the tackle.
I mean, it's probably the smart way to do. You don't really want to take a risk here because you're probably going to have to punt. You don't want to lead to a fumble. You don't want like an interception that's going to lead to a touchdown or a pick six. Like, it's just best to set up the punt here and give a little more yardage for your punter.
Rothmeyer did have some blockers out there, but Cherry was unaccounted for, and he was able to get the tackles. Now, kicking out of his own end zone is Brandon Fisher. Moderate pressure. Fisher kind of kicking that one away from Jalen Reed, and the Blue Golds are going to down that one at the UW-EC 44-yard line. Remaining at quarterback is Cade Fitzgerald. He came in after the injury to the starter, Caleb Blaha, and I can look across the way, and standing right around the 43, right by that down marker, is number 14, Caleb Blaha. So he's still in uniform.
It looks like they might even just try to save him in case the game gets too close.
Fitzgerald getting tripped up.
Number 10, Cade Fitzgerald, stopped by number 16. Nate
Fitzgerald had that huge rush to score a touchdown earlier in the game, but ever since then, the Falcons have really been contained.
Nate Majeski on that last tackle, and that pass incomplete. They're trying to get Weslowski out there, but bring up a third down. No, going back to your point about Blaha, I think the way UWRF is going to look at that is saying, hey, as long as we can maintain this lead and we're not in any danger, well, let's just not take any unnecessary risks. Whatever the injury is, and again, it's just the fact that Blaha's over there would kind of indicate that it's not a serious injury. Fitzgerald finding some space. Fitzgerald dragged down, but a good gain inside the 20. First down for the Falcons. Walker Korish saving a touchdown.
Yeah, a great rush there by Fitzgerald. I mean, I had just mentioned it. He had that big rush that led to the touchdown in the first half, and almost went right there.
Trevor Asher straight up the middle. Yeah, you look at Fitzgerald, he's got that heavy brace on his right leg. And now we've got another player down. And once again, it's Trevor Asher. So with that, we will step aside and be back with more football from Carson Park on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. Trevor Asher able to walk off the field, and that's good news for UW River Falls. Jalen Reed now the running back. Good play fake that time by the quarterback, Fitzgerald, but that time the Blue Goals were ready for that little counter by the running back, Jalen Reed. Third down now for the Falcons.
With how great of a running back Reed is, they're probably going to keep Asher out for the rest of this game, going off he's had 2 injury scares, and just going to keep Reed out there. And, I mean, as I said, he's a great running back. He can do his job.
Fitzgerald finds Reed. Reed still on his feet, being chased by a host of Blue Goals and bumped out of bounds.
Jalen Reed.
Brady Hoffner with the tackle that time. To your point about Reed, he's just so elusive and got that low center of gravity and tough to bring down. First and goal from the 9. Fitzgerald, patient running, and he'll bring it inside the 5.
Yeah, Reed, I mean, he just does a really great job. I mean, he has four attempts for 46 yards on the day in rushing. He has 7 receptions for 49 yards on the day. I mean, he really does it all. He's just a receiving back. He's a running back. I mean, he can do everything for this Falcons team.
Fitzgerald's going to run it. Cade Fitzgerald
Number 10,
had a hole, and then the hole closed up. Blue Goals linebackers, Keegan Christie leading the charge. Lucas Swenson, one of the D linemen, was there as well.
The Blue Goals need a big stop here if you want to continue the momentum. I mean, to leave it to a field goal here would be big.
Fitzgerald pumps, throws, and completes. They had the slant to Wesolowski, but Fitzgerald airmailed that one. So, field goal unit comes on for UWRF.
It's a great stop there by the Blue Goals. I mean, just leave this to a field goal. You stay in this game by leaving that to a field goal.
Justin Chibberol is on for the PAT. Jake Barnhart is the holder. It's a fake. It's a fake, and Barnard's going to get to the pylon for the touchdown. River Falls pulling out the stops. And the fake field goal results in a touchdown.
It was a great fake. I mean, they did a really good job at selling the kick. And then to keep that guy going out for the receiving touchdown there, you had to sell a guy onto him, which just left the touchdown wide open.
28.
And that was the score right there.
So Chibberol on for the PAT. I'd be interested to know if that was called or if the holder has the option. If he gets the look he wants and sees that end on that far side selling out, that, hey, you can just pick it up and go. So with 10:29 remaining in the third, Falcons stretch their lead to 49-21. You're watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. Back at Carson Park, 29 remaining. Falcons with the first TD of the second half, and they get it on a fake field goal. Jake Barnard running it into the end zone. Blue Eagles going to let that kick bounce all the way through. They'll start at their own 20-yard line. Well, first drive of the second half, they kind of got behind the sticks. We'll see what UW-EC can do here on their second drive. Again, I keep looking on the near sideline to see if the Blue Goals are going to run that series for Kendon Krogman, but they are not.
I mean, Helder has played great tonight. 15 for 26, 205 yards, 57.7 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. I mean, the only downside to him is his completion percentage is a little down, but that's just because he struggled at the start of the game, but it has been great ever since, after the first 3 drives.
So the Blue Goals from their own 25. Helder on the move. Now he's going to run it. Aiden Helder slides down. Short of the 30, but we got a penalty marker down.
Helder on the carry. Penalty flag in the field.
Holding. 25 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
They get Rothmeyer on the hold. So again, the Blue Goals going to get backed up here. Levi Pooley enters the game for UW-EC. They'll be looking at a 1st and 20 from their own 15.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of a big mistake right there. I mean, holdings happen. They say holding happens on every single play, but definitely stopped a big bunch play right there.
Helder, deep ball, and it's picked. Heck of an interception from Andre Hall.
Number 11, Andre Hall.
Wow. He adjusted to that deep ball in the air. Positioning was great. He just turned into a receiver and made a fantastic interception. My goodness.
That is only Aiden Helder's 3rd interception of the year. He's played really well. It doesn't really throw many interceptions, but just kind of put it in the wrong spot. And I mean, obviously, Hall makes the great grab in the air and adjusted perfectly and just did everything right.
Yeah, and credit the defense. They had Chul bracketed pretty well. Now Fitzgerald will run it. Spun down by Henry Keppen.
Number 10,
Jimmy McGovern was also in the vicinity.
Tackle on the play by the Blue Goals, 74, Henry Keppen.
But it's a gain of 4 for Fitzgerald.
2nd and 6. In the
2nd and 6 now for the Falcons. Fitzgerald keeps, nowhere to go.
Fitzgerald stopped by number
Keppen was there along with Aiden Drost.
Henry Keppen, and 43.
That was right there, just perfect. I mean, that's what you want right there. I mean, break through the line and just wasn't sold by the run and got to Fitzgerald almost immediately.
Empty backfield now for the Falcons on 3rd and 9. Fitzgerald, design run. He's got a lot of running room. Fitzgerald down the sideline, tripped up. It's a touchdown-saving tackle from Ryan Spickerman.
Good enough for a first down.
And now the Falcons back in the red zone.
Yeah, Spickerman able to use a little bit of his speed there to catch up to him and just put at least a little bit of a tackle on him to take him down.
1st and goal from the 10. Fitzgerald. Little flip on that near side to Drew Kemple. Trevor Asher is back in the game for UWRF. Dinged up a couple times, but he's back in the game. Spickerman, another tackle for the Blue Goals. Trips to the far side. Trevor Asher on the carry. Spun down just short of the 5. Deshaun Sager making the tackle for the Blue Goals. And it's 3rd and goal now for the Falcons.
They were able to stop him on 3rd and 3 last drive. Can they stop him on 3rd and 6 here?
Fitzgerald throws underneath. Caught inside the 5 by Wesolowski.
Ben Wesolowski.
So it brings up a fourth down, and they send the field goal unit out. Last time they did this, they faked it.
And I'll tell you this, the Blue Coats are definitely going to be watching for the fake this time.
Well, you would think. This is pretty close to extra point distance.
28, Justin Chevrolet in to attempt the field goal.
Older is Barnard, and he ran that last fake field goal in for a touchdown. He was able to get to that far side pylon. Kick is up, and it is good with 6:53 remaining in the third quarter. Falcons stretch their lead to 52-21. You're watching football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network.
I forgot the sausage. You guys ready to eat?
This is a Wisconsin farmer. She grows the locally sourced freshness, the freshness that complements the wild-caught salmon, the salmon that tees up the cheesecake, the cheesecake that sweetens every moment. Festival Foods. We are Wisconsin.
10 points this quarter have all been scored by the UW-RF Falcons, who now lead the UW-Eau Claire Blue Golds 52-21.
It kind of seems like the worst thing that could have happened to that Blue Coats after that first half was to go to halftime. Because, I mean, they kind of lost a lot of that momentum, a lot of that just forward progress that they were really giving themselves. And now the Falcons have kind of been able to regroup, see what has gone wrong ever since taking that 42-0 lead. And they've been able to come back out here and bring back out the tempo, bring back out their defense.
Blue Golds were able to bounce back after falling behind 42-0 in the first half. They got the next 21 points to go into halftime with some good feelings. Yacht Chul will signal for the fair catch and make that. So Blue Golds drive will start in their own territory, and they're going to look for some plays to be able to move the chains.
Fair catch. Eau Claire, ball will be placed at the 25-yard line.
We'll start from the 25-yard line. Hayden Helder leading the offense out there for UWEC.
I'm really trying to think, is Krogerman going to step on out there? Helder's been playing great.
Blue Golds keep Rothmeyer in the backfield. Helder. Another fade. And a completion. Nick Keene.
Keene's really played.
And now we've got a penalty marker behind the line of scrimmage, and based on the reaction of River Falls, this one's going against the Blue Golds, and that's not going to make the UWEC coaches happy.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 69. After the play, be 15 yards added. Subtracted. Still first down.
If we can go back and take another look at that one, you'll see it's on the near side of that old line. And it was Ryan Sussner of the Blue Golds getting tangled up, I should say, with the D lineman for UW-RF. And it kind of ended with Sussner picking up the D lineman and kind of taking him to the turf, kind of slamming him to the turf. And I don't know if anything went on after that, because on that replay our camera was following the ball. But in any event, it's a personal foul penalty on the Blue Golds, and now they're looking at a 1st and 10 from their own 27. And off Rothmeyer. Spins forward out to the 30.
The best thing about all of this is, first of all, it was a great catch by Keene. So you still have that, just you're looking forward to that. Like, he had a great catch. He made a great play afterwards. The also thing is at least it's still a 1st and 10. It could be a 1st and 20. It could be a 1st and 25. It's still a 1st and 10. You just didn't really get any of that progress upfield.
And again, it just seems that they're targeting Keene more in this game. And again, developing that wide receiver depth, very important for the Blue Goals. Helder throws that one. That was actually it appeared to be a backwards pass. We'll see how they rule this thing.
Yeah, as you were saying, they have to develop that depth, though. I mean, Chul, Kuzek, and Keene have all played really well today.
Well, the Blue Goals are going in reverse.
Yeah, it looked like it just kind of went out of the hand wrong, and it definitely was there was no one touched the ball on the Falcon side, and it just went out of his hand wrong and far down the field.
So 3rd and long now for the Blue Goals. Movement up front.
Penalty flag in field.
It was the defensive lineman for River Falls who jumped right there, and then he got a reaction from Gunnar Hurlbert.
I'll tell you, this has sure been an interesting drive. You have that Nick Keene great catch, and then you have the unsportsmanlike contact, and then you have a good run by Rothmeyer, and then you have the ball being thrown 20 yards down the field behind them.
Lineman
and then now you have
5 yards.
The false start
Still
there.
3rd down.
So the Blue Goals pick up 5 yards on that exchange, so it's a positive. They'll have it on their own 18-yard line. They'll need to get out to the 37 to get a 1st down and keep this drive alive. Rothmeyer gets the pass on the dump off. Paxton Rothmeyer still going. Gets across the 20. Made something out of nothing.
Yeah, great job there by Rothmeyer. Just keep on moving, juking, and just finding his way around. And a great play there, making something out of nothing and making it a little bit easier for the punter. If they are going to bring the punt team out.
When we talked to Rob Erickson this week, and asked him about, okay, who are some of the guys who are stepping up in leadership roles, during this 3-game conference losing streak, and he said, well, it's the usual guys. It's Hoffner, it's Poles, on the defense. Helder's done a good job, as a first-year starting quarterback. And he mentioned Rothmeyer, and he said Rothmeyer's one of those guys, and it's blocked. Scooped up by the Falcons. They dive into the end zone for the touchdown.
Third blocked punt of the game. I didn't know exactly if he did end up getting in there. It looked like he might have been down a yard short, but they do call it a touchdown.
Taylor Sussner, the defensive back. The block was by Braden Jones. And then watch Sussner, sophomore out of Chaska, Minnesota, diving in. Touchdown Falcons. They add to that lead. And here is Justin Schiberl for the PAT. Well, the Falcons started this game with a burst. Jumped out 42-0. Blue Goals cut it to 42-21 at the half, but 17 points in the second half, all been scored by the visiting Falcons. So they have the lead, 59-21. Well, you talk about the 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, and special teams today has been won by the Falcons. Let's send it down to the sideline. John McLean is there, and he's got an observation that he's made from the sideline. John, go ahead.
Thank you, Bob. Well, after that block punt, but maybe even before and through the second half and the latter end of that first half, you can see Aiden Helder making a lot more changes at the line of scrimmage, whether that's changing the call and just audibling or shifting right away, giving River Falls different looks in what they come out in, and that's been able to open up some of these passing lanes, but not on the past couple of drives. They're starting to figure things out, and River Falls is now sliding to it and expecting those second chance audibles. Bob, Andrew, back to you.
Thank you, John. You know, and that's part of the maturation process for sophomore QB Aiden Helder. You know, playing against this WIAC competition and, you know, trusting his judgment and trying to make the right reads, gets the team in the right formation. Bouncing ball picked up by Yacht Chul around his own 15. Chul up the far sideline and spun out of bounds.
Number 0.
The one thing I will say about Chul is he will make stuff out of really nothing. I mean, that ball was bounced on the ground. It looked like it was going to just be just no punt return at all, or sorry, kickoff return at all. And he just was able to sneak around a lot of his defenders there and get something out of it and set up the Blue Goats a lot better than they really would have been.
So Aiden Helder and the Blue Golds will take over at their own 27. 4:20 remaining in this third quarter. Shaw goes in motion. Now empty backfield as Rothmeyer exit. Helder
17.
Across the 30.
On the carry.
They'll mark him down at 31-yard line. Good play design there.
32-yard line, 2nd and 5.
They moved Shaw inside, and then he kind of pulled and was the lead blocker there for Aiden Helder. 5-yard gain makes it 2nd and 5. Chul and Sullivan split out to the near side.
Passing down for number 3.
The Blue Golds fortunate there. The pass was behind Mason Sullivan, and
5.
Peter Ledoux, the cornerback, nearly had a pick on that one. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Sullivan did a really good job at least getting his hands out there to make sure there was no interception.
Yeah, if that ball bounces up, chances are Ledoux gets some hands on it. 3rd and 5 now, Blue Golds. Helder down the near sideline. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Levi Pooley. He had Chul underneath. Thought he had a passing lane to get it to Levi Pooley, but goes out of bounds. How are we looking on stats now for Aiden Helder?
Helder so far on the game is 19 for 31. 19 for 32. He has 1 interception. He has the 3 touchdowns. He has 230 yards in the game. This really has been a good game for him. But you've seen those little mistakes that have definitely cost them in some points.
Brandon Fisher, the punt, gets it off against some good pressure. And Joel Humphrey, the deep man for River Falls, just going to let that one go. So the Falcons will take over in their own territory with 3:37 to go and leading 59-21.
One thing I've really noticed on these punts on this second half is they've gone back to their formation that really wasn't working in that first half, where they led to the first 2 block punts and they end up changing it back up. And now they're back doing it, and they've had that pressure on the punter on back-to-back that have now led to a score and almost a block there.
Cade Fitzgerald completes the pass on the near sideline. Stephen Reifenberger on the reception. Ashton Quaddy is the running back now for UWRF.
Out to the 40. 1st and 10 for River Falls.
Reifenberger kind of finding a little seam there in that zone defense. It's a 1st down pass completion. Falcons have it on their own 40. Quaddy up the middle. Runs into a host of Blue Golds. They're going to give him forward progress to the 42. And River Falls at this stage of the game, leading 59-21, are not exactly running with that same tempo they did at the beginning of the game. They can afford to take a little bit more time now.
For sure. They're just going to take their time and kind of now wear down this Blue Gold defense. And if you really take your time, it's not gonna result in a Blue Gold comeback.
Yeah, the clock is definitely in their favor. Crossing route complete, and into Blue Gold territory goes Steven Reifenberger.
The biggest thing that this Blue Gold team can do right now, if it doesn't result in a win tonight, is you play strong for the next 17 minutes of game time. For the rest of this game, you just play strong and you fight back. Even if you don't win, if you take the fight to this Falcons team for the rest of this game, it's going to look strong for the rest of the season and the next 2 seasons to come.
That's a good point, Andrew, because as a player, you are constantly being evaluated. Here's Quaddy up the middle. Gets it down close to the 40-yard line. But, yeah, you're constantly being evaluated. Everything you do, how you practice, how you lift, how you take care of yourself, how you perform, no matter what the score is. And so this is an opportunity for players to just, work on their craft and play hard. And I think for the most part, the Blue Goals have done that. I don't think it's a question of want to. It's just the execution hasn't been what it needs to be to keep it close against a high-end team like UW River Falls brings to the town. It's Jonah Malberg on the reception.
I mean, the biggest bright spot you can look at is this is a number 10 ranked team in the nation. They're great for a reason, and they have found still a way to score those 21 unanswered points and found a way to disrupt this Falcons team in a way. And yes, the Falcons were able to make a comeback and do something, but now can they do it again? Can they disrupt this team again?
First down carry for Cade Fitzgerald. Walker Korish on the tackle, but still a first down. And Falcons are going to, again, take their time. They're certainly not running at that same tempo. Time is definitely in their favor. Third quarter winding down.
It is also hard to go at that same tempo that they were earlier, because that same tempo that they were doing earlier was with Blaha, who is just a great quarterback in himself.
Deep ball, incomplete. He had Reifenberger. That pass is a little bit more on the inside. Reifenberger's got himself a touchdown. Well, this is they practice this. This is their MO. They play with tempo. They want to run 60, 70 plays a game. And you just kind of tilt the odds in your favor. More possessions, more plays, more chances for big plays. They'll live with some, hiccups here and there. You realize, okay, that it also increases the chances for turnovers. But when you've got the offensive talent like this Falcons team does, it's been working for them. Pass to Trevor Asher.
Yeah.
Brought down by Keegan Christie.
This is a Falcons team that's fine with turnovers. Like, you're gonna be fine with a turnover. They're more like we're gonna expect a turnover to happen, but we're not gonna let that be the reason why we lose a game. We're gonna just regroup and come back at you.
3 quarters in the books. UW River Falls leading UW-Eau Claire. Back with the fourth quarter right after this. You're watching BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network.
Commitment to excellence. That's the Blue Gold standard. It's the same for E.O. Johnson Business Technologies and LockNet Managed IT. We want you to be the best in your business, so we provide the gold standard in print, data security, document management, and scanning. This is our commitment. E.O. Johnson Business Technologies, your business better. LockNet Managed IT, your business secure.
Nobody pays more money for nice, locally owned vehicles than we do.
We pay big bucks every day of the week except Sundays.
If you've got a vehicle you'd like to sell, bring it to Eau Claire Ford Lincoln Quick Lane.
We'll give you an instant appraisal and cash offer.
With no pressure and no obligation.
We bought hundreds of locally owned vehicles because people like how easy it is.
How much safer it is, and how much more money they got.
Eau Claire Ford Lincoln Quick Lane. Thanks for thinking of us first.
Fourth quarter begins here at Carson Park with UW River Falls facing a 3rd and 3 from the UWEC 27-yard line. Falcons leading the Blue Golds in this WIAC matchup. Cade Fitzgerald remains at quarterback in relief of the injured Caleb Blaha. Fitzgerald takes that one down to the 25, just short of the first down. The offense is going to stay out there for UW-River Falls. And if you're just joining us, Blaha is on the far sideline, still in uniform, so whatever the injury situation was, it's not serious enough for him to be in street clothes.
Yeah, I really would say this. He's probably not going to come back in the rest of this game unless the Blue Goats go on this miracle comeback. He'll probably stay out because you're going to want to just keep him healthy. And Fitzgerald is still doing a great job. He's 11 for 15. He's got 84 yards on the day. He's had 15 attempts for 141 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I mean, he's the leading rusher for the Falcons right now.
Yeah, he had that long TD run, but he's the kind of guy that would be starting in a lot of programs.
Oh, for sure.
It just has the, also has Caleb Blaha on his team. So,
who's probably one of the best quarterbacks in D3.
So we'll get the timeout taken by the Falcons. We'll keep it here and take a look at some of those other games around the conference. There are some big-time matchups, and we can tell you that at halftime, it's UW-La Crosse leading UW-Oshkosh 28-6. Remember, it was Oshkosh that handed UW-River Falls its only loss of the season. Whitewater, this is a final now. Warhawks defeat UW-Platteville 29-19. Both of those teams now 5-1. Another example of how hard it is to run the table in this conference. It's just amazing. And then UW-Stout playing at home against UW-Stevens Point. The Pointers are putting up a battle, but Blue Devils lead that one 35-22 with 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Here we've got 14 minutes left.
Yeah, we talked about how it's the SEC of D3 as that ball is deflected away. I mean, you can't really run the table in this conference because of just how great the teams are. And, I mean, you see it on every single one of those games being a battle.
Frank Daniels now at quarterback for the Falcons. He came in on the final play of the second quarter to throw that Hail Mary that the Blue Goals were able to bat down in the end zone. So Frank Daniels is the quarterback. Ashton Quaddy is the running back. Daniels spinning away and running away from D lineman, and then he goes tumbling high in the air.
Well, bringing in Frank Daniels is very smart here because you're up 59-21. You have Blaha who's already out. You're bringing in a guy in Daniels who's a freshman, and you want to give him to get experience because Blaha obviously won't be back next year.
And same with Fitzgerald. These are important reps for the freshman QB, and he kind of fits the profile. Big guy, 6'5", 208. We saw that he's got a big-time arm.
Yeah, I mean, he threw it, like 50 yards at the end of that half, and it really almost was a completion.
And that's talk about a good apprenticeship, if you will, playing behind Blaha and Fitzgerald, guys you can learn from who've been through it. Pass to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Little bit high on that slant pattern.
In this game, especially bringing in Daniels, I mean, you can really let Daniels just go through his early mistakes right now. I mean, you're a freshman quarterback. You're going to make mistakes early, and this is a game to do it in. You're up 59-21. Let's make some mistakes. Let's take some risks out there, and let's have some fun. If I'm Daniels, that's what I would be saying.
Andrew Carls was the intended receiver there. Carls, a senior out of St. Cloud. And there goes the quarterback into the end zone for the touchdown. Frank Daniels, what did we say about him? He fits the mold of a UW-RF quarterback. Guy with a big arm who's mobile, and he runs it in for the touchdown, and it's now 65-21.
Well, yeah, so every quarterback that has came in from River Falls this game has scored a rushing touchdown. So, I mean, really just showing how great this QB room is, rushing, passing, they've got it all, and they're great at it all.
Yeah, it's just, you tip your cap. They're legit. And, again, you see them in person. Here's Shebrel booting the extra point to make it 66-21. You see them in person. Okay, I watched the UW lacrosse game on TV, watched the Oshkosh game. Saw Whitewater very early in the season in person. But I think all together, when you look at offense and defense, this River Falls team is, in my mind, the most impressive team. Does that mean they're going to win the conference? No, not necessarily. But just what they're able to do week in, week out, the stats they're about to put up every game, tell you, it's impressive. You have to play a remarkable game to knock them off. Obviously, Oshkosh had the defense that did it. And, again, it just shows the strength of this conference top to bottom. But I tell you, they passed the eye test, and you start looking at the stats when it's all said and done. And, again, this is quite a program that Matt Walker has developed over there. And you know what? For UWRF, it kind of took a while. Took a while for them to gain some traction. But, say, in these last 5 to 7 years, they have really gotten it going. And, boy, they are a handful for just about anybody that they're going to face.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned offense, you mentioned defense, but you also got to mention special teams. 3 block punts, a fake field goal attempt that led to a touchdown. I mean, they've really done it all. Offense, defense, special teams. They're winning every battle tonight, and they just show that they really have the best unit out here right now. And in general, one of the best units in the WIAC in D3.
Yacht Chul on the return. He's taken down at the 25. That was Adam Hamed.
Well,
their defensive back out of Cambridge, Minnesota. 2 of their starters are out of Cambridge. Andre Hall, Braden Jones.
There is 12:39 left in this game. What can the Blue Golds do to find some momentum and go into their next game after this looking strong? I mean, you just got to find a way to get a score, get a pass, get whatever it has to do to just find some momentum and have a good rest of the game.
They've kept the first-team offense out there, and here comes Paxton Rothmeyer out to the 30.
29.
Well, in my guess is that UWEC is going to keep this first-team offense out there and have them end their day on a good drive. You know what I'm saying? Is that because the third quarter they sputtered. Second quarter, they got things going a little bit. Third quarter, they sputtered. I think what Coach Rob Erickson and the offensive staff are trying to do is say, hey, look, let's leave on a good note, and let's lead with something positive going here.
Yeah, I think it's very smart to leave your first team out there. I mean, especially looking forward in the season, you want your best team playing at their best for the rest of the season. And you keep that team out there. You keep them playing strong and going against this amazing defense. When they go against a defense that's probably a little bit easier to go against, like Stevens Point, you're going to be looking stronger and you're going to be looking ready for them.
Blue Golds go to Stevens Point next week. Following week, they're at UW-Whitewater, and they'll close things out at home on November 15th against UW-Platteville. So, again, in Whitewater and Platteville, you got 2 of the top teams in the conference. Good pitch and catch that time. Held her to Yacht Chul. In Stevens Point, we see the Pointers today putting up a decent battle over at UW Stout. UW-Eau Claire really hung one on Stevens Point last year, and Pointers are going to remember that one. And they've got it over at Gerke Field and their place. So, again, nothing comes easy in the WIAC.
Yep, you have to go into the point game expecting a ranked team, in my opinion. You got to be going in expecting the best because the Pointers will give it to you no matter what. Every team's going to give you their best, and the Pointers is a team. They're still a WIAC team. They're still a team that has to play all these other ranked teams. You got to be looking. You can't be thinking this is an easy win. You got to go in expecting the best.
Nakai Mercado getting his first carry of the game. Mercado brings it out to the 49-yard line of UWEC. It's 2nd and 4. Helder. Completion on the near side, and Nick Keene. And we got a penalty marker thrown in the defensive backfield.
There is a penalty flag on the field.
Well, when we talked to Rob Erickson this week, one of the things he's, the climb is their big thing and their big motto of, you're climbing. The referee is going to pick up that flag. So completion stance, but it's a process.
No
and all right, so they had 3 wins all of last year. Now they're ready. 2 wins all last year. Now they've got
no flag.
They've got 3 already, so they've shown
scrimmage.
progress there. And if they can get that, just that next step, that's, again, that'll be to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, your biggest goal this season is let's go 500. Well, what are the rest of the games this season that we can win? And I mean, they haven't been 500 in a while. They want to go 500 again. This play is called dead.
Screen pass to Mercado, who gets wrestled down by Nick Wasco. 2-8 was the Blue Gold's record last year, so they're okay. They've already surpassed that, and if they can pick up another one, again, one of the challenges about trying to do a rebuild in the WIAC is that those teams at the top really aren't going anywhere. It's not like they're coming back to the pack. They certainly are not showing any signs of that. Another completion to Nick Keene. So that's where the challenge is. You've got to get better, and you've got to get appreciably better because the La Crosses, the Whitewaters, the Plattevilles, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
River Falls, you throw Stout in that mix. Again, there's some good veteran coaches in this league, and you've got some good programs. And, again, you look at state of Wisconsin, there's one Division I football program, and there are no Division II football programs. So if you want to stay in state, you come down to the WIAC. What a catch that time, Nick Keene.
That's his 10th reception of the game. I mean, what a catch there. But, yeah, as you were saying, I mean, yes, these teams aren't going to come back to you. But the one good thing is Erickson is building a squad that is competing with these nationally ranked teams, competing with these amazing teams in the WIAC, and it's a young team. So they're only going to get better. They're only going to get more experience. And, yes, they do still lose a good amount of seniors. But what they have behind them in general is only going to replace and be better and going to get better and going to get better. And this team, under Erickson, is looking stronger, is looking better than they have in the past. And as long as this team can still continue to play well together these next 2 years, you can really expect these teams to start playing River Falls close and maybe even start beating River Falls, Whitewater, Platteville when it comes down to it.
And I think one of the keys is to keep the coaching staff together, keep that continuity so that the messaging stays consistent. And so far, Blue Golds have been able to do that. And, the recruiting has been good. They've tapped into some very successful high school programs. They're looking to get guys with that winning pedigree. And, it's that whole thing, but bigger, stronger, faster. And with the regular season winding down, you're going to look for a good showing and try to get some positive momentum going into the off season. And those off-season workouts are going to be huge. And, again, that's, I think, the time when you can start making those jumps as players and as a program. And having the Sonnentag Fieldhouse certainly helps there. Helder throwing deep, and it's incomplete. Wanted to get to Levi Pooley. A lot of hand fighting back there, but no penalty markers thrown.
You could say the contact there was pretty mutual. I think both sides were both fighting with each other there. But, I mean, going kind of back to your segment there, one thing I want to mention on is recruiting. When your teams really start just looking better and better and better, these recruits are going to notice that. And they're going to see, hey, this team is starting to look like in the right direction. Their coaching is starting to look really well. I want to go there. I want to go there. That's the spot I want to be.
Yeah, and a lot of that, too, is just selling the whole experience, selling the university, the education you're going to get, being in a good community like Eau Claire. Nakai Mercado on the reception. So, yeah, you're selling the whole experience. I mean, yeah, there have been guys over the course of the years that make it to the NFL out of the WIC. That's not the norm. All right? So, you know, you're going to have to, if you're a high school player, you're going to have to start thinking, okay, what about that next 40 years after college? What am I going to do? And how is college going to set me up for what I want to do the rest of my life? And if along the way you get to play some ball, you get to be an athlete like you are with the cross-country and track teams, yeah, so much the better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, obviously, you're going to college, you want to get a good education, but you also go, you know, I want to run where I'm at. I want to play football where I'm at. I want to play basketball where I'm at. And that's when you look at the schools. And the Blue Goats have always obviously looked great when it's come to running. It's always looked great when it's come to track. It's always looked great when it's came to soccer, basketball, all of these sports. But now, as this football team starts playing better, the recruits are going to go, you know, this is a great school for learning, but you know, if I really want to go play football, and the Blue Goats are looking like the spot, this is the up-and-coming team, this is the team I want to be at.
I'm going to put you on that recruiting staff with that pitch. 4th and 5 now for UW-EC. Empty backfield for quarterback Helder. He takes a shot to the end zone, incomplete. Again, a lot of contact down in that corner. The intended receiver was Matt Kuchai. And the Falcons will take over with 6:53 to go in this one. I think part of that is, yeah, there was some contact, and it looked like the D-back had a little bit of a push, but that pass was uncatchable. That's my interpretation anyway.
I think also there was just a lot of mutual contact. As I said earlier on a different pass, but a lot of mutual contact, and it's kind of hard to call that one way.
Frank Daniels is going to scramble. How about Frank Daniels? You tell he's a freshman, right? He's got all that energy.
He's got that amazing confidence too. I mean, just a confidence of a young guy who's like, I get my shot when we're up 66-21. What could I do wrong? I mean, I just got to go out there and have some fun.
Yeah, he saw the defenders coming in low, and so he's like, okay, they're going low, and Nate Majewski was going low to try to trip him up. Okay, I'm just going to jump over him. His gain is 6 for Frank Daniels. Falcons keep it on the ground and busting loose for a big gain. Into Blue Gold's territory goes Jake Barnard.
He only had one carry before this for 3 yards, and I think that was a lot more yards there.
Barnard, remember, he ran that fake field goal in as the holder. Boy, that was a great play design there. All those guards and tackles from the right side pulling, opening up that hole up the middle, and Barnard, the senior, carries it into Blue Gold's territory.
Go into that, second team here, and it's really smart. Getting a lot of those younger guys or a lot of those seniors who don't really get as much playing time, letting them get some playing time here. If you get injured at the end of the season or getting experience to these younger guys for the future.
Daniels throws underneath. He's got a completion inside the 35. Joel Humphrey making the reception. Humphrey, a senior out of Turtle Lake. You know, always nice, or if you're a senior but you're a little down in the depth chart, always nice to get some playing time. Doesn't really matter, okay? Early game, end of the game, at least you're out there, you're competing, and the team likes to see that too, because they know how hard those older guys work in practice, and they've, those older guys have helped establish a really good culture over at UWRF. 2nd and 4, Daniels. Taken down, Jack Sheldrop hit on the tackle, but it's a first down carry. Now the Blue Golds have a player down.
Number 9, the tackle for Blue Golds, Matthew Marquette.
Matthew Marquette, the injured Blue Gold, and while they tend to him, we'll step aside. You are watching college football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC network. UW River Falls as a 1st and 10 at the UW-EC 25-yard line as we play in the fourth quarter. After that injury timeout, they'll get everybody set. The clock will continue to move as we're approaching 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Falcons have never trailed in this game. They got up to a 42-0 lead. Blue Gold's got the next 3 scores to make it 42-21 at the half, but UW-EC has been blanked in the second half, and the Falcons have just kept scoring with 24 points. Toss to Barnard. Barnard takes it inside the 20.
That is his first. That's his first reception of the game right there.
95, Jimmy McGovern. Ball at the 18.
BMB is still into it. They're making plenty of noise across the way. And you know who seems to be most amused by BMB is the reserves from River Falls who are here but not dressed. They were dancing along. They're having a good time. Kind of playing to the band a little bit. Here's Daniels, spun down
Number 9,
right around the 15-yard line.
It's always good to have some fun at these games. If you're not going to play, you know you're not going to play. Might as well have some fun with the Blue Gold Marching Band. And, yeah, I mean, you're up 66-21, so you have a good reason to be happy. So, yeah.
Well, as you're finding out as a college student, and from my hazy recollection of those days, it's the most unique period of time in your life. So you should enjoy it.
Oh, for sure.
Try to learn something, clearly. Try to, get on some sort of a path, but, yeah, make sure you're enjoying it. Handoff, Barnard. He takes it down to the 12-yard line. I'm not going to give him that much of a generous spot. It's going to be back at the 13-yard line. So, 2-minute timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching college football on BlueGills.com and the WIAC network.
I forgot the sausage. Oh my God. Perfect. Holy, what's the password? There he goes. There he got it. I want a Sunday.
Blue Gold's trailing the Falcons 66-21. Let's send it down to the sideline where John McClain is standing by.
Thank you, Bob. Well, this one looks to be all wrapped up and done. The Falcons will trot out of Carson Park with the win, but the Blue Golds will now take the road next week over at Stevens Point. Well, what does this mean for the Blue Golds? Well, the Pointers were only able to hang 7 to the Falcons 59 last week at Gerke for their homecoming. Now the Blue Golds will travel over there hanging 51. Now Stevens Point is also one of the few unranked teams in the WIAC. And the Blue Golds beat Stevens Point last year 41-0. And the Blue Golds look to continue that momentum that they built this week, hanging 21 on one of the top teams in the land this week into next week at Gerke, and hope for another dominant performance on the road. Bob, Andrew, back to you guys the rest of the way.
Thank you, John. Quarterback keeper for Frank Daniels.
On the carry. Tackle for the Blue Golds, by number 52.
I mean, we talked about it with Walker earlier in the coverage. But this River Falls Falcons team reminds me, or this Blue Gold team reminds me a lot about this Falcons team of prior, where this Falcons team was struggling, but when Walker got there, little by little, the team got put together, and now they're this nationally ranked powerhouse. Eric, since he's gone there, has slowly put together his team and slowly put together a team that can win. And I can expect that same thing for the Blue Golds.
Frank Daniels is going to take it into the end zone for a UW River Falls touchdown. Well, last year they scored 71. Now they're up to 72, pinning the PAT.
We scored 7 more points this year, though.
There's that.
Always got to find the positives.
Last year was 71-14 over at Raymer Field. Today, 72-21. Well, you touched on something earlier, Andrew, that I think is accurate in the sense that halftime came at a good time for UW River Falls. They got a chance to reset, knowing that, okay, you're not going to risk playing Caleb Blaha in the second half. So, okay, let's craft some packages for our QB2, and let's kind of cater the offense a little bit to what Cade Fitzgerald does well. Maybe slow tempo just a little bit, and it's definitely worked. So, you know, they've put up 31 points in this second half. They lead at 73-21. Again, I'll say it another time, is that just by what I've seen watching Division III teams in the WIAC, this is the most dynamic team. How about that?
Oh, for
most
sure.
dynamic team, most prolific offensive team. I may have to go back and rewatch that Oshkosh game to see what Oshkosh was able to do and how they held this offense down. But I tell you, this is going to be one interesting race going down the stretch. You got River Falls, you got La Crosse, you got Platteville, you got Whitewater. Man, buckle up, because that's going to get really interesting over these final weeks. And, you know, as always, it's going to be interesting to watch how many teams from the conference make it to the NCAA playoffs. It's always an age-old argument. You know, because you've got some leagues with automatic berths. Blue Golds will take the fair catch.
By number 18, Nick Keene.
You know, but again, it's a computerized rankings-based system, and we'll see. Like I said, I think if you would listen to administrators from the WIAC, I think they could say, hey, I think we could make a case to have 4 teams in that bracket. Will they get to that? Hard to say. But again, it's going to depend on these next 3 weeks. It'll be very interesting.
For sure, but you could also really make a case that 6 teams deserve to go to that playoffs. I mean, there's 6 teams that are ranked and they're playing like one of the best teams in the nation every single week, and you can make that argument. But going back to what you said earlier, that halftime did come in really well for that River Falls Falcons team, because when Fitzgerald ran out there, yeah, he had that great rushing touchdown, but they continued to try to play the offense that, like Blaha was still out there, but it was Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald's just a different QB. He plays at a different style. And that was, I think, the really big thing, is that we were able to then stop him on defense, because Fitzgerald was just playing a little bit different than Blaha, and then they were able to get our offense going because we had the momentum of stops.
Running the football is Connor Paris. Paris now the running back. Quarterback is Jacob Donahue. Donahue, the junior out of Grayslake, Illinois. And time winding down in this one. And the Blue Golds will not run another play, so this one's going to go into the books as a 73-21 lead, I should say win, for the River Falls Falcons. Incredibly impressive today over the Blue Golds. UWC had a good fight there, especially in that second quarter when they got back in the game a little bit. But this one, Falcons proving why they are ranked 10th in the country. 73-21 the final.
Yeah, just a great team, a great Falcons team. As you said, a very dynamic offense. They end up having 341 rushing yards, 292 receiving yards, for a total of 633 total yards. They average about 600. Well, they went over their average. The Blue Golds had 16 rushing yards, 270 receiving yards, for a total of 286 yards. Their passing game was really strong today, and a lot of points, and you really saw that with Chul having that really big catch for 72 yards. He finished with 3 receptions, 92 yards on the day. Keene had 11 receptions for 84 yards. Pooley, 3 receptions for 38 yards. He had a touchdown. You saw Sullivan with the good catches. Kuzak, Chappell. Everyone really kind of stepped up for this Blue Goats offense attack today on the passing game, but in the end, it really just wasn't enough, losing 73-21.
So the Blue Golds will take it on the road for the next couple weeks. Next week at Gerke Field in Stevens Point to play the Pointers of UW-SP. And for the Blue Golds, they're just going to have to watch the tape, make their corrections, and kind of get back to, all right, just regain some confidence, because when you're on the wrong end of 73-21, that's going to sit with you for a while. So they're going to have to, it's going to be a challenge to the coaching staff to, get these guys to regroup and to let them know it's like, hey, this is life in the WIAC. And for all those guys, we talked about it in the open. Those 29 players for UW-EC that are part of the two deep offensively and defensively, the 29 players that are freshmen or sophomores. This is part of learning. You know how that is. Learning sometimes can be a little difficult, be a little painful, but hopefully from the UW-EC perspective, they can take this, learn from it, regroup, and then put a good showing out next week at UW-Stevens Point. For the athletic department at large, boy, this is a fun time of year because the fall sports obviously are still going on. The winter sports are going to get cranked up here a little bit. In fact, tonight we've got a hockey exhibition, men's hockey, over at Hobbs Ice Center. So those teams will get started here in the coming weeks. So it's a busy time, but a fun time on campus when you get to that athletic program.
Yeah, you also have a soccer game going on tonight, too, at Simpson. So the athletic department's still in full use, and it's still a great time of the year.
And best of luck to you and your cross-country guys as well.
Yeah, we have a conference meet next week, Saturday, in Oshkosh.
All right. Well, best of luck in that. So that's going to do it for our broadcast today. Big thanks to all of our UW-EC TV 10 crew, for John McClain, our sideline reporter, Andrew Thaler, color commentator. I'm Bob Radovich saying good afternoon from Carson Park in Eau Claire. You have been watching football on BlueGolds.com and the WIAC Network.